Tonight, the Bean Tomcats host the Howe Bulldogs in a very important 11-8 district encounter. The winner of tonight's game will keep their playoff hopes alive. The loser will be eliminated. Can the area's leading passer, Adam Ball of Tom Bean, find success against the powerful Bulldog defense? We will have the answer to that question in about 3 hours from now on KMKT's Area High School Game of the Week. It's Tom Bean and the Howe Bulldogs. Tonight's pregame show will continue with the interviews with Howe coach Joy McQueen and Tom Bean coach David Horner right after these sponsor messages. Back to our pregame show preceding tonight's Area High School Game of the Week on KMKT 104.9 FM. To begin things tonight, I have Howe head coach Joy McQueen with me to discuss the importance of tonight's game with Tom Bean. Well, Coach McQueen, I guess to say this game is important would be a very big understatement.
Yes, sir, that would be an understatement because, we're excited about playing Tom Bean. They're 4-4 and 3-2 in district with the same record that we have. And, of course, Coach Horner and I are friends, and he does an excellent job with those kids over there and has really got them playing good ball. And we're excited about their passing game. We're hoping that we can play a little bit of pass defense this week.
Well, Coach, as you said, your Bulldog defense is going to be really put to the test. They have certainly done a fine job all year long. And, in fact, I guess you're one of the leading defensive teams in the district. But guys like Daniel Williams and Jason Mitchison and Powell and Hartwell, they're going to have to all do well on that front line. And, of course, your linebackers are just going to have to play outstanding and dropping off for the short passes. And then that leaves your cornerbacks and your safeties to do the rest, I guess.
Yes, sir, you're right. Adam Ball is a good quarterback, and if we give him time to throw the ball, well, we're in trouble. And so we're hoping that we can get some pressure from that front line, and hopefully we might be able to tip the ball every once in a while and get a bingo out of that.
This has been a very competitive district this year, and of course you look at some of the teams in the district. Looks like Pilot Point is going to be in without any problem. They are undefeated, but the rest of the teams in this district are so even. And of course the ball game tonight with Tom Bean, if you can win this game, it really sets up the showdown the following Friday night against the Bells Panthers, because if you can upset Bells, then of course you can finish no worse than second place.
Yes, sir, you're right. That's the scenario. But, of course, our first task is to defeat Tom Bean. And, if we can't handle that, well, there's no reason for us to even have a shot at going to the playoffs. But we feel like we're going to do our best and get out there, and we're prepared, and we're hoping that we can slow Tom Bean down just a little bit.
Coach, I know you had a young ball club to start this season. You had several graduated from Howe last year, and, of course, you being a first-year coach at Howe, how has things progressed over the season? Pretty well where you want them to be at this point in the season?
Yes, sir. We're finally at that point. About 2 weeks ago when we played Aubrey, I didn't think we was going to make it to this point. But like you said, I don't know if we're really young. We're really more inexperienced than we are young, just because of the lack of playing time last year. But these kids have come on, and I think after the White Rock game and then last week's game against Callisburg, they're getting to the point where we'd like for them to be. And it was kind of a little leery about 2 weeks ago. I didn't know if we was going to make it.
If you're getting a little static, it's because of the fact that we do have a little bit of a microphone problem here. So just bear with us, everybody listening on the radio. Coach, I guess your defense, and we can't overemphasize the defense, it's kept your ball club in this situation in terms of getting into a playoff position. Your offense was a little bit slow getting started, but it seems to be coming around now. You scored 27 last week against Callisburg, and it looks like the offense may be beginning to gel just a little bit.
Well, I hope it is, BK. That's one thing that's been our lack of consistency this year is our offense of making the clutch catches and holding on to the ball when we needed to hold on to it. But like you said, our defense has played well. I think we're only allowed 87. Have allowed only 87 points this year, which is about 11 points a game, and they've really kept us in the game. And it's the same kids that play on offense. But as you know, it takes all of us to block on offense where you can make one big play with one man on defense. And we're hoping that consistency on offense is starting to come around.
Our pregame show with my interview with Coach Joy McQueen of the Howe Bulldogs will continue after these words. Bulldog defense is like running into a concrete wall. The Bulldogs take a lot of pride in their defense, being recognized as one of the best. Raymond Langford, owner and operator of Howe Concrete, is proud to be a sponsor for tonight's broadcast and would like to extend his best wishes to the Bulldogs as they battle for another playoff berth. Howe Concrete specializes in all types of wash sand, wash rock, base rock, and fill sand. Call Howe Concrete for jobs that require sand and gravel or ready-mix concrete. No job is too big or too small for Howe Concrete Company in Howe. Call 532-5581. That's 532-5581. Howe Concrete, open Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. Owner Raymond Langford also is available Saturdays by appointment only. Howe Concrete Company, 410 South Hughes in Howe, says, "Go Bulldogs, we're behind you all the way." And welcome back to our pregame show featuring head coach Joey McQueen of the Howe Bulldogs. Coming up right after my interview with Coach McQueen, I will be talking to David Horner, the head coach of the Bean Tomcats. And once again, we thank you for joining us for tonight's KMKT Area High School Game of the Week, and it's going to be a good one, or at least it looks that way on paper, and sometimes that can be deceiving. But, Coach McQueen, let's talk about your offense. Wade Carson, your quarterback. This guy is a 160-pound senior, seems to be coming into his own now. Good leader, and this is the kind of guy you need to lead your ball club. I guess mistakes and things like this are something you can ill afford tonight against Bean.
Yes, you're right, Wade. Excuse me. As you have said, he's a excellent quarterback. He's done a good job. He's completing about 41% of his passes, and the last few weeks has really done a good job of throwing the ball. I think that he could have been completing over 50%. If we just made all the catches that we've dropped. Wade is a leader, and he's doing a great job for us.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your running game. I know that John Norwood, your fullback, and I believe it's Michael Bailey, your tailback. Those two guys, especially Norwood, he seems to really get that tough yardage when you need it. And I guess being more of a running ball club, unless you have changed the strategy somewhat from the last time that I've seen you, this guy's a very key player for your ball club. And I'll speak of, once again, John Norwood.
Yes, sir. John had been doing a good job for us. In the recent weeks, since the Pilot Point game, we've made an addition and made a position change. We've put Domingo Rivera at our fullback position, and Domingo, the last two games, has had over 250 yards in those two games combined. So Domingo is now our fullback with the long, as you said a while ago, Michael Bailey at our tailback position. And those two young men are juniors, and they're doing a good job for us. And I think it's really added an extra boost to our offense, especially at the fullback position.
Now, it looks like to me you're going to be pretty well equal in size, with the exception of maybe a couple of places. But, actually, Bells, or rather Bean, is not overly big, but it looks like your front line, weighing, I believe, 180, 175, 165, 165, and 200, they don't match up well with the likes of Bells, is what I was about to say, and also Pilot Point, but they do match up very nicely, it looks like, against Bean.
Right. I think both of us are pretty small teams, and of course, we have to rely on our quickness, and that's, defensively it's worked well. Our quickness has really worked out great. But as you said, we have no comparison with Bells or Pilot Point. They're just by far bigger than we are, and so we're just having to work with what we've got, and our kids have really done a good job with that.
I guess your game strategy tonight, Coach, would be to keep the ball away from Adam Ball and the Bean offense, and maybe try to control as far as the minutes in this ball game in your favor. That way, you probably are going to have a lot better chance of winning it.
By the past few weeks, BK, that'd be probably the best thing to do, is keep the ball away from them and control it. Of course, we're going to continue with our, game plan and try to be aggressive and try to move the ball on the ground and those few passes in there. We've been averaging 22 passes a game, as you know, Bean's been throwing about 46 times a game. So if we can just keep the ball away from them and maybe get a few of Adam Ball's interceptions, we'll be in good shape.
All right, Coach, one last thing before I let you go. What about your injury situation and maybe some of the players that might not play that normally would have, or maybe some of those injured players that are back now and will be certainly contributing in this ballgame?
Well, we don't really have anyone back. We do have a few kids out with, like, the flu. We have one of our backup tight ends he's out. He's got mono, and then we have another starting defensive secondary man that's got pneumonia. It's not at the critical stage, but he's been out all this week, and we're hoping that he might can play sparingly tonight.
All right, well, Coach, good luck tonight. We look forward to broadcasting a very good football game between two fine high schools, Tom Bean and, of course, your own Howe Bulldogs. And once again, congratulations on already a fine season, and hopefully things will work out for you.
Thank you, BK.
And our pregame show will continue. When I come back, I'll have Tom Bean head coach David Horner, and we'll talk about the Tomcats and that explosive offense. It's time now for the starting lineup for the Tom Bean Tomcats and the Howe Bulldogs prior to tonight's ball game. Starting at free safety for the Tom Bean Tomcats, number 21, Brian Baxley, a 180-pound senior. At strong safety, number 22, Brad Lowe, a 165-pound senior. The cornerbacks, number 12, Chad Shields, a 140-pound sophomore, or it could be number 2, Ryan Wilcox, a 120-pound sophomore. The other cornerbacks will be number 9, Michael Brown, a 150-pound senior, or it could be number 10, Michael Cooper, a 120-pound senior. The weak side linebacker, number 62, Sean Feltner, a 150-pound sophomore. Strong side linebacker number 33, Chris Henley, a 160-pound junior. The middle linebacker number 65, James Bailey, a 145-pound sophomore. Of course, Mark Morgan is out with that foot injury and will be lost for the remainder of the season. At the weak side end will be number 52, Shane Pennell, a 155-pound junior. The strong side end will be Tommy Hunter, number 44, a 160-pound junior. The tackle number 75, Barry Cox, a 198-pound senior. And the other tackle number 72, Jeremy Bullard, a 160-pound senior. The Howe offense will get started like this. At center, number 65, Chris Hartwell. Yes, that is correct. Number 65, Chris Hartwell, a 165-pound junior. The left guard will be Kevin Gray, number 64, a 175-pound junior. And the right guard will be Gerard Powell, number 55, a 165-pound senior. The tackles will be number 70, Monty Brown, a 180-pound senior, and number 74, Trey Dedman, a 200-pound junior. The split end for the Howe Bulldogs, number 6, Joey McMillian, of which I will be interviewing at halftime, 145 pounds, a senior. The other split end, number 16, Matt Cavender, a 150-pound senior. The wingback will be number 11, Scott Grogan, a 145-pound junior. And in the backfield will be at quarterback number 7, Wade Carson, a 160-pound senior. The fullback will be number 40, Domingo Rivera, a 160-pound junior. Also, by the way, I will be interviewing Wade Carson at halftime, along with Joey McMillian of the Howe Bulldogs. Number 21, Michael Bailey, will be the tailback. He's a 150-pound junior. I will also have 2 more interviews with the Tom Bean Tomcats, and that will be quarterback Adam Ball and also the split receiver, number 22, Brad Lowe. That'll be coming up at halftime. Stay tuned. Coming up next here on KMKT 104.9 FM will be the kickoff for tonight's area high school game of the week, right here on KMKT 104.9 FM. The friendly staff at the First National Bank of Tom Bean are big supporters of Coach David Horner, his coaching staff, and the players. The First National Bank of Tom Bean has been serving the people of Tom Bean and surrounding areas since 1906. Their willingness to help people has been a long-standing tradition and will continue to be so. For those of you that bank at the First National Bank of Tom Bean, well, you already know about that tradition. But for those of you that don't bank there yet, why don't you stop by for a visit and find out why the First National Bank of Tom Bean is so well thought of. There are many conveniences, such as a night deposit and drive-up window. Banking hours are from 9 to 3 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 9 to... Kicking off to the Bulldogs, who are dressed in their white jerseys, white pants, with a black stripe down the side and the black helmets. Here is the kickoff, and we're underway as it will be fielded by number 11. That's going to be Scott Grogan. Then it gets away from him, and it will go back to number 22. Crosses out to about the 17-yard line, and running that ball back is number 22, of which we do not have a number for, I don't believe. It'll be first down and 10 for the Howe Bulldogs from that point. Once again, Wade Carson will be the quarterback, number 7. Number 40, Domingo Rivera, the fullback, a 160-pound junior. And number 21, Michael Bailey, a 150-pound junior. We'll be going down on the field periodically tonight with
Gentry Little, who has the on-field microphone, and we'll be getting some updates on the field throughout this football game. First down and 10 for Howe as they come out in a split-back backfield. Fumble on the first play from scrimmage, a scramble for that football, and it looks like the Bulldogs got back on it. And let's see, indeed, if that is the case. And it is. It'll be second down at about 14 now for the Bulldogs as we go down to the field with Gentry Little.
Well, hello, BK. It is a very good night for football. The wind is blowing diagonal right to left, and I'll get you some more information on the warm-ups and how both teams acted.
All right, second down, 14 for the Bulldogs. Here is the quarterback handing it off. Second back through. That's Michael Bailey, the tailback. He'll get it to about the 16-yard line, and that's going to be it. He was hit there by number 50, the Bean Tomcats. The defensive weak side end, Shane Pennell, a 155-pound junior. Okay, let's go back to the field.
Okay, BK, Tom Bean was very tight in warm-up. The receivers were dropping the ball. They didn't have pressures on the game. And it's interesting as Howe has called a timeout, BK, but just real quickly, Howe was very loose and very relaxed.
Okay, with that timeout, we'll take a timeout. Hopefully we'll get everything straight by the time we get back. We'll be back in 60 seconds. All right, welcome back to Tom Bean. We're in the first quarter. We still have 10:54 to play as the Bulldogs face third down and 12 as they break the huddle after the timeout. It'll be Wade Carson, the quarterback, coming to the line of scrimmage as the Bulldogs try to pick up this first down. Here's Carson fakes, rolls out to the right, looking downfield. Got plenty of protection, throws, and it's going to be incomplete as a great defensive play made by number 22, Brad Lowe. And Lowe comes in to knock the ball away from the intended receiver for the Howe Bulldogs, who was Damian Horton. And also joining me, of course, is David Hayes. And David, good to have you back with us. Good ball game that we did last week in Aubrey and now tonight here in Tom Bean.
Okay, it's a beautiful night again for a football game. We're excited about a tied-up series here, 4-4 each team, and we're just expecting a very good, well-fought football game.
And back to punt will be Monty Walker for the Bulldogs. Gets a good snap, gets away, and it's a nice one, a spiraling kick that'll be fielded at the 49-yard line. Here's Tom Bean running the reverse. It doesn't work as number 21 handed it off to Brad Lowe on the reverse. That was Brian Baxley who gave it to Lowe, and Lowe was hit immediately after he got the football. And so from that point at the 49-yard line, it'll be first down and 10 for the Tomcats as we go back on the field with Gentry Little.
BK, that timeout was for an injury. Apparently the Howe quarterback had hurt his right hand. Apparently he's okay and will return on the next offensive series. Back upstairs.
So first down and 10 for the Tomcats as they come out in the run-and-shoot offense that they have made so famous in this area this year. The leading passer in the Metroplex area, of course, and that's Adam Ball at quarterback. He'll bow under the center. Shane Pennell rolls out to the right, looks downfield, now looking some more, being rushed, throws. He had a man out there, but it would have been out of bounds, I believe, had it been complete to Brad Lowe at about the 36-yard line. It'll be incomplete, second down and 10 for the Tomcats. Let me set the offense for the Tomcats. Shane Pennell will be the center, a 155-pound junior. The guards will be James Gibson, number 73, a 165-pound sophomore, and number 72, Jeremy Bullard, a 160-pound junior. The tackles are Josh Williford, 247-pound senior, and Larry Cox, a 198-pound senior. The Tomcats are back to the line of scrimmage as the handoff goes to Brian Van Norman, and he'll crash down inside the 45 to about the 42-yard line. Got a good block on the left side by James Gibson. That was a good play that time, Gentry.
Well, I tell you, the run and shoot basically, as you say, has a lot of passing, but they only have one play. Just give the ball to the back right up the tackle or the guard, and that's basically the run and shoot, just like the University of Houston Cougars run.
Gain was 7, bring up third down and 3 for the Tomcats. Ball at the 43-yard line. I'll get the rest of the lineup. The split in is Brian Baxley, a 180-pound senior, and Brad Lowe, number 22, a 165-pound senior. Here is Adam Ball rolling to the left, throws downfield, incomplete. The intended receiver on the play was number 21. That was Brian Baxley. And it was number 7 back defending, Wade Carson. And Tom Bean fans wanted a possible interference, but as it looked from here, Gentry, it was a non-catchable ball.
No, I almost caught it down here on the sidelines. I tell you, this quarterback for Tom Bean has got one rifle of an arm, and that was a very good tight spiral.
It'll be punt time for the Tomcats as standing at his own 45-yard line, punting the ball away is number 62, Gerard Aquilo. Oh, that's not right. Number 62 is John Silver. Here's the run back by number 11, and that's Scott Grogan. He's going to be hit behind the 10-yard line, somewhere around the 6-yard line. As I was trying to pick up the number of the Tomcat punter, I got a little bit confused with number 11. He was trying to run the ball back, but a great defensive play on the specialty teams by the Tomcats, Gentry.
Well, I tell you what, it was interesting was both teams now have tried that reverse. That Darrell Royal used to use that at the University of Texas back in the 60s, and it has not worked for neither team. Howe is pinned back on their 5-yard line, going into a very stiff wind, about 25 miles an hour, blowing north to south.
It'll be Wade Carson running the Bulldogs, and boy, they are in a hole. Here's the quick handoff, goes to Domingo Rivera, I believe is going to be the ball carrier, and he's going to be hit right at the line of scrimmage by big number 33, Chris Henley, the strong side linebacker. And David, it looks like the Tomcat defense has come to play today. Or actually tonight, I guess I should say.
That's right, Big K. They were really on fire on that punt return. Howe tried to make a reverse, and they were just right on top of things and nailed him really for about a 5-yard loss.
Well, actually, it was a yard gain. Second down and 9 as they come to the line of scrimmage. Quick pass out into the flat, and it's not going to go anywhere. As the Tomcat defense, number 7 over there to make sure that nothing went right was Ricky Wiggs. And Wiggs brings it down for about a 1-yard gain at the most. And maybe not that many. It looks like Gentry might have been a loss.
Well, I tell you, it was a loss. That's a variation of the run-and-shoot screen. He just backs up 2 steps and fires it towards the sideline. The Tom Bean coaches right now are worried about Howe's speed. If they break it up the middle and they get in the wrong, it's at 6 points for the Bulldogs.
All right, the Bulldogs back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 9. Here's the quarterback, hands it off up the middle, and a good hole across the 15 to the 17-yard line, and that will be the running back, number 10, Michael Ross, for the Bulldogs. And it's going to be close for the first down as he got good blocking from Chris Hartwell, Gerard Powell, and Trey Dedman on that right side. And let's check it out. It is a first down. And what happened on that play, Gentry?
Well, like I said, Tom B got in the wrong defense. They went into a 5-2 defense. There was no middle linebacker. That's exactly where the Howe Bulldog running back ran to. 1st and 10 with 8:25 to go in the first quarter. And after that play, BK, the Tom B coaches just kind of dropped their head. They don't want a long run up the middle or a quick 6.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. They come to the line of scrimmage. Wide to the near side is number 20 for the Bulldogs, and that's going to be Sean Stevenson. Here is the play right up the middle to the 25-yard line. Goes to number 10 again. That's Michael Ross, who's not a starter. He is a senior. And the young 160-pounder moves it out to about the 25-yard line, and it will be a gain of near 9 yards on the play. And what a nice block right in the center of that line by Chris Hartwell, the center, and Gerard Powell. They seem to be running right up the middle against the Tomcat defense, Gentry.
Well, I tell you, the Howe Bulldogs are showing their superior size, BK. They are opening the holes. Howe running backs are getting 9, 10 yards a pop, and it could be a long night for that Tomcat defense.
John Stevenson in the slot, split backfield for the Bulldogs. Here's the little cross handoff, and it goes to number 10. He's got a hole. He's to the 40, the 45, the 50, the 45, the 40, the 35. He's to the 30, the 25, the 20, 15, 10, 5, and a touchdown for the Bulldogs. Michael Ross with a 60-yard gallop. There is a flag on the play. And Gentry, what happened there?
We may have a holding on the right side of the Howe Bulldog line. It took that play so long to develop, and the referee will march to the center of the field, and he will say, holding, Howe, bring it back.
It is holding against the Howe Bulldogs, so take away that 60-yard run by Michael Ross, who got loose again on the right side of that line, and somebody must have got the arm out somewhere, David, because that's going to really hurt you. And for Howe, they can ill afford any mistakes in this ball game if they want to try to get into the playoffs. Of course, they have to beat Bells to do that next week, and they have to beat Tom Bean tonight. For Tom Bean to get in the playoffs, they have to get a little help down the street tonight, and I don't think that's going to take place. Whitewright and Bells, and of course, if Whitewright was to upset Bells, and then of course Howe beats Bells next week, Tom Bean beats Howe, then of course they're in, or at least in a 3-way tie. Here's the quarterback, pitch back quickly, and it will be nowhere to go as a good defensive play made by Chris Henley. Let's check that. That's number 73, Jeremy Bullard, who came in to make a nice tackle on that play. It was just the quarterback pitching to the running back, who was trying to get behind left tackle, and nowhere was he to go as Jeremy Bullard was right there.
BK, when Howe made that long run 2 plays ago, play took so long to develop, and then all of a sudden somebody just held back here, and all of a sudden there's a big hole there.
2nd and 18 for the Bulldogs. The ball is at the 30. Here's Carson. Rolls out to the left. Now looks right. Now throws way downfield. Intended for number 42 out there, Monty Walker, but it was overthrown. Back defending for the Tomcats was Michael Cooper, and also number 7 back there, Ricky Wiggs. So it will bring up 3rd down and 18 for the Bulldogs. If you've just tuned in to the KMKT Area High School Game of the Week between Tom Bean and Howe, we have no score in the game with 6:02 to play in the first quarter. And Howe did score a touchdown of 60 yards on a nice run by Michael Ross. However, it was called back because of a holding penalty. And that's where we are right now with the Bulldogs facing 3rd down and 18 as they send 2 wide receivers out to the near side. That'll be Joey McMillian along with Domingo Rivera. Here's the quarterback, Carson, rolls out to the right, being chased by Chris Henley, looking, and now throws, and it's going to be incomplete as Henley was putting the pressure on the quarterback, Wade Carson, and he had to get rid of it, and it's incomplete, bring up 4th down for the Bulldogs. Good defensive effort made by the Tomcats that time, Gentry.
Well, I tell you, BK, the Howe Bulldogs there were just trying to get enough for the first down, and now they'll be in a punting situation for the first time tonight.
How's the wind down there?
It's very cold and very stiff. This punt may go straight up and come straight down back behind the huddle. We'll have to see how good number 42 is punting. Tom Bean is setting up for the return. No block is on.
Monty Walker will be standing inside his 20. Gets a good snap and the kick away, and a nice spiraling kick that nobody's going to field. It's going to go inside the 20-yard line, still rolling to about the 13, and I'm not sure. But Tom Bean did not think that he could kick the ball that far. They kicked it over the head of all the receivers back there, and they just let it go, and it rolls inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line. Gentry, what a nice punt.
Well, it was. He caught it right when the wind had stopped blowing, and that's what you want to do when you're a punter and going against the wind. Wait till that wind and the flags die down before you have a shot to punt. Tom Bean now backed up 1st and 10 on about the 14-yard line. The Tom Bean coaches are now going to talk to the defense, and they're going to try to make some adjustments so Howe does not have that long run down the middle.
I'm going to get the Howe defense for you right after this next play. Coming to the line of scrimmage, Adam Ball and the Tomcats have it 1st down and 10. The ball is just about the 13-yard line. Here's Van Norman with a carry. Gets it across the 15 up to about the 17-yard line behind Jeremy Bullard and Josh Williford. The defense for the Howe Bulldogs will be at left tackle Jason Mitchison, a 185-pound sophomore. Number 66. Right tackle is number 56. Daniel Williams, a 170-pound senior. The ends will be number 65, Chris Hartwell. He is a 165-pound senior. And the left end will be number 55, Jerry Powell, a 165-pound senior. I'll get the linebackers and defensive backs after this play as Tom Bean is back to the line of scrimmage. Here's the pitch back, goes to Van Norman. Going to be hit in the backfield and lose about 3 yards on the play as it was number 44 come crashing in, James Belenchek. And it is a loss all the way back to about the original line of scrimmage, which was the 14. It'll bring up 3rd down and 10 for the Tomcats. Nose guard for Howe is number 64, Kevin Gray, 175-pound senior. The left linebacker, Monty Walker, a 200-pound junior. And the right linebacker is John Norwood, a 185-pound senior. Tom Bean back to the line of scrimmage. 3rd down and 10 in the first quarter. No score in the game as Tom Bean's quarterback Adam Ball rolls out to the left, being rushed. Now cuts it back upfield. He's going to be tackled at about the 18. He had no place to go, and he had to run it up the middle. He thought he saw some daylight, but it closed very quickly. Daniel Williams coming in to make the tackle for the Bulldogs. Let me catch the left corner for you. Matt Cavender, a 150-pound senior. The right corner is Sean Stevenson, a 165-pound senior. The safeties are Scott Grogan, 145, a junior, and Blake Carson, a 160-pound senior. Here's the punt, and it's a nice one. It will be fair caught at the 43-yard line by Scott Grogan. So from that point, it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Howe Bulldogs. Gentry?
There's a flag on the play. Howe had too many men on the field, so let's see what Tom Bean decides to do. 43 for the Bulldogs. Couldn't get off the field in time.
Well, that's a 10-yard penalty, is it not?
I believe it is, and that could be a 1st down for the Tomcats. We'll have to wait for the referee's decision. Notice the little option there in the run and shoot. The Cougars do not run that, but Tom Bean throwing a little veer option there. On that 3rd down sack, BK, the quarterback had no place to run. There it is, too many men on the field against Howe. And
so it looks like it may be a 1st down for Tom Bean if that is the case. Now, I'm not sure. If he didn't get off the field, it should be a 10-yard penalty and 1st down for Tom Bean, but let's see. Maybe Gentry can pick up what the call is with the referee.
Well, they're down there discussing it now with the Tom Bean, Tomcats captain. In the pregame show, BK, both coaches mentioned a good crowd. It is a good crowd tonight. Both sides seem to be full. Homecoming for Tom Bean is next week, but right now it looks like there is a homecoming crowd tonight. And BK, let me send it back up to you and see what I can hear from the ref.
All right, David, it looks like certainly both teams are playing very good defense at the moment. The offense really been non-existent for both teams.
That's right, BK. Both defenses playing an excellent ball game. You got Tommy Hunter over on the strong side defensive end for the Tomcats, and he's pretty well shutting it down. And then you got on the Howe defense, you got the left end, Jerry Powell, that 165 senior, that just doing a terrific job over there on that end. So
evidently, it would not give Tom Bean a first down, so they elect to take the punt. Is that correct?
That is correct, BK. It's only a 5-yard, not a 10.
So first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. They have it at their own 43. Good field position. Here's Carson, hands it off quickly up the middle. It goes across the 50 to the 49-yard line, and that's Domingo Rivera, a 160-pound junior, the fullback, who came in about a couple of weeks ago, as I understand it, for John Norwood, who had held that position for quite some time. And they feel like Domingo may be a little quicker, as he showed that time. He really got off with the quick start. They say his knee touched down right at the midfield stripe. It'll be second down and about 3 needed for the first down for the Bulldogs as they break the huddle. In the I formation, they send 2 wide receivers to either side. Robert Mindy, I believe. Here's the handoff and hit at the line of scrimmage. Wow, what a nice defensive play that time by number 52 for the Tomcats, Shane Pennell. And it looked like Gentry, he read that one all the way.
That's just your straight inside-outside veer option. 52 stayed at home, did not go with the fake of the fullbacks. Interesting, the Tom Bean sidelines, BK, seems dead. They're not telling the defense, go get them or anything like that. They're just dead, like they're freezing to death.
Well, we'll find out if they liven up after this play. Third down and 3 as the Bulldogs come to the line of scrimmage. Here's the handoff, and bucking a couple of heads with Tom Bean was number 34. With the ball carry, that was Doug Ogle, and he will not pick up the first down, as it was a good defensive play finally made by Chris Henley, who was the young man that really brought him down. But he had a couple of Tom Bean players at the line of scrimmage, but Henley came in to make sure that was as far as he got. About a yard gain on the play. It'll bring a fourth down and 2 for the Bulldogs, and the Tomcats have really played some good defense.
Yeah, they really have, BKF. Howe getting ready to punt right now, and the last punt off went 52 yards into a stiff breeze. Let's see what happens here. Tom Bean looks like they may set up for a block.
Bonnie Walker will be standing inside his 40 at about the 35. It's a fake, and here is the handoff. Actually, the direct snap went to number 22, and we do not have a number 22 on our roster, and I'd like to find out who that is for Howe. It's going to be close for the first down. I'm not sure that he picked it up. Gentry, is it a first down?
I think he is by the spot of the referee. They're going to have to bring the chains out and measure, I believe, but I believe it's a first down. Tom Bean, of course, doesn't like it. 22, I will find out and tell you who that is in a moment.
All right. Thank you very much, Gentry. Number 22, of course, he was in the setback position, and they snapped it directly to him instead of the punter. He took off to the right side behind Josh Williford over there, and also... not Williford, I beg your pardon. That was Trey Dedman. And Dedman tried to lay the block on Tommy Hunter for the Tomcats. The Tomcats reacted pretty quickly. In fact, if they had brought him down where they originally hit him, he would not have had the first down, but it was good second effort by whoever number 22 is that got that first down, if indeed it is. Gentry?
Well, BK, he's very, very close to where the spot is right now. They're bringing out the chains. That was a good call. Nobody expected a fake punt. And I will get as close as I can. He made it by 2 football lengths. There was no question.
So first down and 10 for the Howe Bulldogs. The ball at the 47-yard line in Tom Bean territory. And David, this is the first time that I can recall that either team has been in the other's territory.
That's right, BK. Howe Bulldogs that time got a real good spot on the ball, BK. I think if anything, he earned that first down. It was a very well managed play.
Bulldogs break the huddle. Chris Hartwell, the center, of over the ball. Split back backfield. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Here's Carson, will hand it off. And here's a tackle being made in the backfield. A nice one it was by number 50. And let's check that number. I don't have it. Yes, that's Jason McClinney, a 139-pound junior, making the tackle on the running back that time, Doug Ogle. And he couldn't get out of the backfield, although it looked like for a moment he was going to be able to break the tackle, David. He just couldn't get out of it.
That's right, BK. Tom Bean's defense is playing an excellent ball game. They're on the field most of the game as well as Howe defense has.
Second down, 11 for the Bulldogs. A loss of 1 on the last play. Here's Carson, straight back to pass, fires over the middle, it gets up in the air, and it's intercepted, I believe. No, he dropped it. He dropped it. It was tipped in the air, and it was number 52, I believe, coming over and almost making the interception. That would have been Shane Pennell, but evidently he dropped it to the ground before he had a chance to really get control of the ball, so it goes as an incomplete pass, bring up third down and 11, and Gentry's all the way on the other side of the field.
IMBK 22 for the Howe Bulldogs is Michael Bailey.
Michael Bailey, okay, so I have him as number 21, so that's the answer to my question. Thank you very much. Here's the quarterback, Carson. Here's a handoff right up the middle, hit at the line of scrimmage, and Wade Carson barely got away from the center because he was hit immediately, and it was number 74, Josh Williford, who made the tackle on the running back. No gain, in fact, a loss of 1. What a nice play. They read that one all the way.
BK 75, Barry Cox. Tom Bean Tomcats was back in the backfield.
It'll be punt time for the Howe Bulldogs. Number 42 is going to be Bonnie Walker. And back to receive the punt, number 21, Brian Baxley. It will go his direction. And now they're going to let it go, and it's going to take a Howe bounce. And Baxley fields it inside the 5-yard line. And that might not have been a bad idea for Baxley because that ball was about to probably be rolled in around the 2 or 3 yard line anyway. One way or the other, they were going to have bad field position. It was kind of a risky situation for Baxley to field that ball, though, because he could have fumbled it, and Howe would have had excellent field position. But right now, the Tomcats will start deep inside their own 10, and it looks like from here around the 5. Can you tell where the ball is on the field, Gentry?
Yeah, he's on the 5-yard line, and the first thing the coach has said to the Howe defense is get him in a safety. Let's see if we can get a turnover down here in bad field position.
Adam Ball comes to the line of scrimmage. They have Henley out to the far side and Baxley to the near side. In motion goes Van Norman. Here's the quarterback, and it's going to be a delayed quarterback draw across the 10 out close to the 15-yard line. And that was a nice play by Adam Ball, the quarterback. He had everybody going out of the backfield in motion and then just rambled up and got the big yardage out near the first down. And that's going to bring us to a close of the first quarter with no score in the ball game. We'll be back in 60 seconds. To the line of scrimmage, they have it second down and 1. Here's the handoff, and this one will maybe get a yard, as that's going to be Van Norman with the carry. He might have got to the first down marker, but that's about it. He needed to get a yard, and that's about all he did get, Gentry.
Down here on the field with me is Casey King, the Howe Bulldog mascot. And Casey, a good game and a good crowd turnout.
Yeah, it is. Bulldog fans are out to back the Bulldogs.
How important is this game as far as this team is concerned?
It's really important. If we can win this one and win beat Bells next week, we have a chance to go to the playoffs.
I got to ask you, how does it feel to be inside this uniform, considering the weather?
I'm feeling really lucky. It's kind of cool outside.
BK, you ever talk to a live Bulldog? I just did.
All right, thank you very much, Gentry. First down and 10, or rather, yes, it is first down and 10 for the Tomcats on the measurement. Here is the quarterback. Now we'll pitch it back on the option. Here's Henley, and Henley will get the corner out near the 20-yard line before he was run out of bounds there by number 24 coming across for the Bulldogs, Damian Horton. But a pretty good game that time by Henley. It was the quarterback who set it up, Adam Ball, who kept the ball until the very last moment and then pitched it to the trailing back, Chris Henley. It'll be a gain of about 4, bring up second down and 6, and I was not sure that time, David, if Adam Ball was going to be able to get rid of the football in time.
He did have 3 or 4 Howe Bulldogs on his back at the time, but he managed to get the ball away.
He'll bring up for the Tomcats, second down and 6. As Adam Ball, the 125-pound junior, has him up to the line of scrimmage. 3 wide receivers, rolls out to the right, looking downfield. Now fires. It's going to be incomplete as the rush was put on by number 55 for the Bulldogs. That was Gerard Powell coming in on the quarterback, and he had to hurry up and throw that ball away, and that's exactly what he did. He didn't want to take the loss. Bring up third down and about 7. Neither offense moving the football, and this is surprising to me because I thought we might see an offensive battle out here, even though that Bulldog defense is very tough, and you might expect them to play well, but you just think Tom Bean can move the football on almost anybody.
That's right, Big K.
Bring up third down and 6 as we come back to the line of scrimmage. 3 wide receivers, a man in the slot, nobody actually in the backfield. Here's a quick toss out into the flat, and that's going to go to number 22, Brad Lowe. He'll get it across the 20 out to about the 23-yard line. He's tackled there quickly by number 34, Doug Ogle, for the Howe Bulldogs. It'll bring up fourth down, though, for the Tomcats. They had to get it across the 25 out near the 26 for the first down. They're going to need about 4 yards to do that. So it's punt time, and it'll be number 62, Sean Feltner, standing at about his 10-yard line to get this punt away. Back to receive will be number 11, Scott Grogan. And he gets a good snap, gets his kick away. It'll be bouncing at about the 50, and there it's taken on the reverse. They hand it off quickly as Grogan was trying to hand it quickly to Ogle, and Ogle was hit right where he caught, or actually got the handoff by number 52, Shane Pennell. So it'll be at the 42-yard line. That's where the Bulldogs will have it first down and 10. Gentry?
BK, I've got down here with me Ricky Ake, who is the trainer for Howe and Tom Bean, and also for Austin College. And Ricky was telling me that Michael Bailey has got a 2-inch gash over his right eye with 4 stitches. He also has a slight cut on his nose and under his mouth, but he will still play.
Wow. That's what you call wanting to play this game in a real tough situation. He knows his team needs to win this game. Wade Carson has him to the line. Here's the handoff, and it goes to Mike Mitchell Ross across the 40, the 45, the 50, and down to the 48-yard line. There he's gained tackle by Tomcats, but not before he got 9 yards on the play. Might have got close to 10. We'll have to wait and see where the spot will be. But a good run that time as they went left, a little misdirection play to the other side of the field with Michael Ross, and he really did do a good job picking up his blocking over there behind Trey Dedman and Joey McMillian for a good block to split in that time. And let's go back to Gentry.
BK, they're going to measure for a first down, and I'm about 2 feet away from the pigskin as they are going to see if Howe has a first down. On that last play, what the Howe coaches are trying to do, BK, is to get their backs around the end, and they are stretching the chains, and by 3 centimeters, literally, first and 10 Bulldogs.
Well, David, it looks like the Bulldog offense may be trying to do a little something different now, and that's run to the outside.
That's right, BK. They just swung out that time to the right side and had a kind of surprised Tom Bean's defense a little.
Up over the football is Chris Hartwell, once again the center. Kevin Gray, Gerard Powell are the guards. Monty Brown and Trey Dedman. Of course, the tackles, Joey McMillian is the split end. Damian Horton over there on left tackle. Here's the run up to the 45, down to the 42. Still trying to get yardage. It's Michael Ross. He's finally grabbed by the pants and pulled backwards by number 52, Shane Pennell again. And Pennell has been in on a lot of defensive plays tonight for the Tomcats. David?
BK, Howe has finally found out what they can do, I think, against Tom Bean's defense. They can go to the outside. Their Tom Bean defense is really strong on the inside, so they're gonna try on the outside.
Second down and 5 facing the Bulldogs. Wade Carson has them back to the line of scrimmage. Split backfield, man in the slot. Here's the handoff, goes to Ross, being hit in the backfield by Henley. Gets away, though. He's down to the 40, the 35, down to the 30, the 28-yard line. Chris Henley, I believe, makes the tackle, or it was Shane Pennell again. It was Pennell who made the tackle on Ross. But, boy, that was a nice play. It was Henley who almost had him in the backfield, but let him get away. And, boy, he showed some speed that time, David.
That's right, BK. Henley was 5 yards back in the backfield and had a hold of his jersey, it seemed like, just for a minute, and he just slipped out of the grasp of his hands and went around that right side wide again, and I think that's what Howe figured out that they can do against this tough Tomcat defense.
First down and 10 for the Bulldogs. They come to the line of scrimmage. We'll be checking with Gentry right after this next play as the quarterback, Carson, will hand it off. This is Ross. Ross gets it to about the 26, and there he's hit by number 75 for the Tomcats, Barry Cox. Gentry?
BK, I have with me Elmer Shank, who is the band director at Howe High School. And Mr. Shank, there's an excellent crowd in here, and you've got to be very proud of the turnout.
Oh, yes, it's wonderful. It's a great night, too.
How important is this as far as the band's concerned? Do they want to go back to the playoffs again?
Oh, absolutely.
What's the halftime performance for tonight?
We're playing our contest show that we're playing down in Mesquite tomorrow for the regional marching band contest.
Okay, BK.
Thank you very much. Hey, that ought to be real exciting. Here is the Bulldogs to the line, the handoff, and that's going to go to Ogle. He's inside the 15 to about the 12-yard line. Doug Ogle following Gerard Powell and Trey Dedman on the right side, and he'll get it all the way down for another first down to about the 10 or 11-yard line. What a nice run, David.
That's right, BK. he just opened them up a hole that time right through the Tom Bean on the inside. I think they've kind of spread Tom Bean's defense out a little bit to kind of watch the outside corners a little bit, and when they watched the outside corners over too much, they hit the middle.
Michael Ross and Doug Ogle in the backfield, split backfield. Here's Carson trying to look for a little daylight. It looked like it was going to be a quarterback draw from the get-go that time, and there was no place to run. It's Brian Van Norman was right there in that backfield to make the tackle for about a yard loss on the play, bring up 2nd down 11. And Gentry, that one just didn't work at all.
Grafton was able to stop the quarterback. 7:30 to go here in the second quarter. I think Howe would like a drive here and put some points on the board.
2nd down 11. Bulldogs back to the line of scrimmage. 7:30 to play in the first half. No score. Here's Carson on the second bootleg. Now throws into the end zone, and is going to be intercepted by Tom Bean. Nice interception by Michael Brown of the Tom Bean Tomcats, and it looked for a moment it was going to be a touchdown, but somehow Michael Brown got in front of the intended receiver, who happened to be Joey McMillian, and brings it in for the interception. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Tomcats at their own 20-yard line on the touchback.
BK, you seen that play developing in the end zone, and Michael Brown had his eyes on the Howe quarterback. He watched that ball all the way, and he was in great position to make that interception.
Gentry, a nice interception it was. We'll come back to you right after this play. Adam Ball has the Tomcats back to the line of scrimmage. 1st down and 10, the ball at the 20-yard line. Brian Van Norman in the backfield, the single back. Chris Henley set up in a slot. Also on the outside is going to be number 22, Brad Lowe. Here's the handoff, goes to Van Norman. Hit and hit again and hit again, as he's finally knocked down at about the 18-yard line. A loss of 2 on the play. It was number 32, John Norwood, who made the final tackle on Brian Van Norman. How many times was he hit, David, before he finally went down?
He was hit more times than I'd want to be.
All right, let's go back to it. Well, they are really playing quickly here at Tom Bean, as they already to the line of scrimmage. As up over the football is Shane Penal. The offensive line made up of James Gibson, Jeremy Bullard, Williford, Barry Cox, and, of course, the split receivers of Brad Lowe and Brian Baxley. Here's the quarterback, wants to throw, rolls out to the left, now throws downfield, intercepted. And back to the 20, inside the 20 to the 15-yard line, and that interception is going to be made by Kevin Gray. And what a turnaround. It looked like, from this angle at least, Adam Ball threw it right to him. Gentry?
Well, what happened was it's a running formation, but the linebacker stayed at home, did not follow his receiver, and Howe once again has a great chance to put some points on the board. Ricky Yake, the trainer at Austin College, and also here at Tom Bean and Howe, says that Bailey did get a cut early in the first quarter. He does have 4 stitches over the right eye, but he's going to play anyway, and he'll look at it closely at halftime.
So turnabout's fair play as the Bulldogs come up with their own interception after losing it a moment ago on the interception. Wade Carson has him to the line, will take, hands it off on the inside. Flanker reversed, and that goes to Ogle, and Ogle will be met right at the line of scrimmage. Number 74, Josh Williford on the tackle for Tom Bean, and actually no gain on the play. 2nd down and 11. And once again, the Howe Bulldogs are finding the Tomcat defense very tough tonight, and I think really they thought they would be able to run the football pretty consistently, but that's not been the case thus far. They have got some outside runs and been successful, but anything up the middle has not been. And here's another one up the middle to Ogle, and he'll get maybe a yard or 2, as it was Tommy Hunter on the tackle for the Tomcats that time. And also coming up off the bottom of the pile was number 62, Sean Feltner. But absolutely good defense up the middle by that Tomcat interior line. Gentry, I'm really impressed with this Tomcat defense. Evidently, Gentry is not... Gentry, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I was listening to the coach, and there's a timeout on the field. What I was listening to, the coach for the Howe Bulldogs is very upset right now at his offensive line for not blocking and blowing holes open. He is now going to send in his goal line offense to try to put some points on the board. He's also, if that does not...
They're doing a lot of...
Okay, we're going to take this break. We'll be back with more Tomcat and Howe Bulldogs football on KMKT after this. To the line of scrimmage, they have Carson on 3rd and 9, back to pass, throws into the flat, he's got a man down to the 10, he's down to the 5, he is in for a touchdown, as that's Damian Harden who gets it in for a Bulldog touchdown. He outran number 62 for the Tomcats to the end zone, Sean Feltner, but that was set up nicely as he faked to the right, kind of rolled that way, and then looked left and set up the screen, actually, and he took it in for the touchdown. Nice play by the Bulldogs to get the first points on the scoreboard. It comes with 5:24 to play in the first quarter. 6-0 as the Bulldogs will try for the extra point, and I believe it will be number 42. Yes, it will. Monty Walker trying to make 7s out of 6s as he stands behind the holder, who I'm not sure who that is. Here's the kick anyway. It's up, and it's right through the uprights. It's good. Number 11 was the holder, Scott Grogan. It's 7-0, but we do have a flag, I think, on the play, so let's hold everything right here. Looks like offsides against Tom Bean. The score will stand at 7-0. We'll be back with more of KMKT's Area High School Game of the Week after this. Ken B.K. Lindsay back with David Hayes and also Gentry Little, our on-field announcer for tonight's ball game. It's been a good one, and the Bulldogs, of course, has just scored. 7-0 is our score as they will kick off to the Tomcats. And Gentry, you were talking when we took the break. You've got somebody over there with you?
I've got David Riddle, who is the owner of the Howe paper. And, sir, you were talking about some interesting things going on in the city of Howe today.
Yes, we've had a lot of academic enthusiasm going on today. The Howe School has just recently received the Governor's Award for Excellence, received the Governor's flag, and that was officially presented to the school today at a team's pep rally type deal. And our school has...
Coach, we can't be behind it. Move back, up. Move.
Ralph Hall was here today also to present a flag that flew over the Capitol to the school. That was happened at the same pep rally.
Here is the kickoff as it'll be Brad Lowe with the football. He tried to fake it. He gets out of there. He's up to the 25 to 30. He was carrying the ball like a loaf of bread on the run back. He faked it to one of the Tom Bean Tomcats, and everybody went for whoever it was that he faked it to. He went underneath one of the defenders and came out of there in wide open spaces, and all of a sudden it looked for a moment the Tomcats were going to be setting real pretty, but good reaction by one of the Howe Bulldogs defensive players that time, brought him down at the 30-yard line. That's where Tom Bean will take over the football as, once again, Adam Ball, the Metroplex leading passer, has him back to the line of scrimmage. Will take the ball, rolls out to the right, looks downfield, nobody open. Now will have to be run out of bounds as he was pushed out of bounds by number 55, Gerard Powell. It'll be a loss of about 6 or 7 on the play, and I'll tell you what, it looks like Adam is a little bit frustrated out there right now. Gentry?
Well, BK, he is. He's not getting his receivers open. That's real neat that what Howe received today. So as you can see, the stress is also on, besides athletics, on academics, and that's a big congratulatory to the Howe Independent School District for getting that award, and especially with Congressman Hall presenting it to him.
All right, second down and 17, a loss of 7 on the last play as the Tomcats come to the line of scrimmage. 2 wide receivers. Here's the quick toss over the middle. It's complete to Henley. Henley breaks a couple of tackles, gets it across the 25 to the 27-yard line, and there he is brought down at that point by number 65 for the Howe Bulldogs. And let's check number 65 and see who that is. That's Chris Hartwell, the defensive end. It'll bring up second down and third down. There was a big loss on the first play of 7. That gained 4, so it's going to be third down and about 14. As the Tomcats come out of the huddle, Shane Penal up over the football. Gibson and Bullard, the right guard and left guard. Cox and Williford, the tackles. And, of course, the receivers are Brian Baxley and Brad Lowe. As Adam Ball barks signals, now back to pass, shoots one, and it's going to be incomplete, intended for Chris Henley on about the same type play that they completed on the last one, but that time the ball was behind him. There is a flag on the play, and looks like this one may go against Tom Bean, the way Howe Bulldog players are reacting on the field. They're getting any interference. It's some of the coaching staff. They have one of their wireless microphones set up as well, and it does create a little bit of problem with our own wireless mic. But at any rate, the punt goes to the 48-yard line, fielded there by Scott Grogan, and that's where the Bulldogs will take over the football. First down and 10 at the 48-yard line. Well, it's been a defensive battle with the exception of the one touchdown scored by the Howe offense, and of course that came a few minutes ago. Bulldogs, first down-wise, seem to be leading quite a bit. Tom Bean hasn't had but one first down in this ball game, right?
And welcome back to our halftime segment. I have with me now two of the Howe Bulldog players, quarterback Wade Carson and Joey McMillian, one of the wide receivers. And Wade, glad to have you with us during our halftime. I know this is a very important ball game for the Howe Bulldogs.
Yeah, it's a big game. We've got to keep our playoff hopes alive, and to do that, we've got to beat this Tom Bean.
Well, the Tomcats possess a lot of talent in their offense, and of course they have been able, or they have been giving up a few points, and I'm sure that your offense, as far as the Bulldogs is concerned, it's sputtered somewhat throughout the year, but the last couple of games it seems like the offense is really kind of gelled, and you're beginning to move the football quite a bit on offense now.
Yeah, we're finally starting to find our open receivers, and we're running the ball real well, so I think this might be a high-scoring ball game with theirs. They got their passing attack, and our secondary is going to be put to the test this week.
Wade, let me ask you, as far as the offense is concerned, and you spoke about Tom Bean and this being maybe a high-scoring affair. If you do get into a scoring game with these guys, it might not be too beneficial for the Bulldogs. So I would think the defense would maybe have to hold Tom Bean under 20 points to win this ball game tonight.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping. We have our defensive objectives, and we got to hold them, no more than 2 touchdowns, because they got a good passing attack. Our defense has been rising to the occasion in the past.
The running game and keeping control of the ball certainly will have a big effect on Tom Bean. As long as they have the football, it's very difficult to get it away from them, especially if they have their passing game going pretty well with their quarterback, of course, Adam Ball. But if you can maintain drives and, keep the ball away from them, you probably have a better chance of winning.
Yeah, we have to keep them off the field as much as possible, keep the ball alive for us.
All right, Wade, let me ask you, we talked about the importance of this ball game. Now, if you beat Tom Bean tonight, of course, that sets up the big showdown next week against the Bells Panthers, and the winner of that game will probably more than likely get into the playoffs.
Yeah, the Bells Panthers are a good team, but right now we're going to concentrate on Tom Bean, and I think we have a good chance of beating both these teams when the time comes.
All right, Wade, as I understand, so you are a senior, right?
Yes, sir.
And so after this year, of course, you're going to be looking, I guess, toward going to college. Do you have any football on your mind?
Oh, I've thought about it. I don't know if I'm qualified, but I think I might give it a shot somewhere.
All right. Now, we also have with us one of the wide receivers that you look toward a lot in some key situations, and that's Joey McMillian. How much do these receivers really help you out a lot, especially when you get in trouble and it's a passing situation? Do you rely on those guys to come back to the football for you and things like that if they're not open right off the start?
Yeah, that's one thing they're good at is they'll start scrambling around. They do find the open spot, come back to the ball and get open. They're good receivers.
You've got Scott Grogan, the wing back out there, Matt Cavender, who's one of the top receivers, and I guess Michael Bailey in that tailback position really helps you out a lot. And I understand you've had a change in the fullback role here. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, we finally got a fullback. He's a junior, Domingo Rivera. He does real well for us. He blocks real well, and that helps his pass game out. But him and Bailey open up the passing game for us. They help get the receivers open more when they run the ball well.
Well, Wade, I want to thank you for being with us here at halftime. Good luck in tonight's ball game and, of course, in the big ball game next week against the Bells Panthers.
Hey, thank you.
Okay, I'm going to talk with split end Joey McMillian now. And, of course, Joey, one of the fine receivers in the district. Joey, I know you'd like to have a big ball game tonight and set up that big showdown next week with the Bells Panthers.
Oh, yes, sir. This is just like a playoff game for us. We've got to win it to stay alive, and we're just taking it one game at a time, and hopefully we'll beat Tom Bean and move right along just like a steamroller and go right over Bell.
Joey, you're not overly big. You're 145 pounds, a senior, but you rely a lot on your quickness. And I guess between you and Cavender on the other side, y'all kind of maybe get together, I guess, during the week, practices, figure out some of the moves that you're going to make against your defensive opponent. And is that kind of the way it works?
Yes, sir. Our scout offense, or our scout defense does a real good job of holding us up and keeping us covered. And we really got to work hard during practice to get open, way to get us the ball. But Matt's tall, and if we put us together, I guess would be pretty all right, But I'm kind of short and skinny, and he's pretty tall. But together, we do a pretty good job.
All right. Have you done anything differently in preparing for Tom Bean with this offense they have? I know you play basically offense, not a whole lot of defense, I don't think. But do you feel like you'll be able to stop that passing attack of Tom Bean, or do you just hope to kind of slow it down and hopefully let them make some mistakes?
Well, we're hoping they'll make some mistakes. We got to control the ball for them not to get the ball and have that big play on offense. But our defense has been rising to the occasion each week, and they're doing a great job. And Coach Hill's just putting it all together on defense. I think we'll be able to hold them and keep them from having that big play opportunity, or keep them from passing a lot like they have been these past couple of weeks.
Joey, I know that Coach McQueen has probably talked to you guys all week long about not overlooking Tom Bean and thinking ahead to Bells. Is that kind of hard to do, not to be thinking of Bells during this football game?
Yes, sir. It's hard. Seeing where Coach McQueen came from there last year and everything, and they've been calling, saying they're geared up for us. They've been doing that all year, so it is pretty hard to not overlook Tom Bean, knowing you got them next week.
Well, I know it should be a good ball game with the Bells Panthers, and it's also probably a good ball game here at halftime, even though we don't know the score because we taped this prior to the game beginning. But certainly, we're looking forward to seeing you out there on the football field both tonight and, of course, next week against the Bells Panthers. It should be an exciting ending to a great season already, and I know after a slow start, you guys have really turned it around and are looking like a playoff contending team.
Yes, sir. Our offense is. Your team peaks every year, and they have a certain point where they peak, and I think our offense is starting to come along, and by Bells, we ought to be up there where we should be. We ought to be playing to our potential.
Joey, thank you very much for being with us, and also Wade Carson, the quarterback for the Howe Bulldogs. We will continue with our halftime after these brief messages from some of our many sponsors making the broadcast possible. You're listening to the Area High School Game of the Week on KMKT 104.9 FM. The Prince, we're behind you all the way.
Okay, welcome back to Tom Bean. I'm BK Lindsay. We are at halftime, and our score 14-0 in favor of the Howe Bulldogs. It's been all Howe since about the first couple of 2 or 3 minutes of the second quarter. The Bulldogs really took over, and with a running game, actually neither team has been able to pass the football too well in the first half, but you expect that maybe from Howe, but not from Tom Bean. Adam Ball, of course, the leading passer in the area, and actually in the Metroplex, and he has just not been able to get any receivers open. His receivers have not been doing a very good job coming back to the football when he does get in trouble, and so it's been not a very good first half for Adam Ball and the Tomcat run-and-shoot offense. But you can add a lot of credit to the Howe Bulldog defense for that, and of course it's just unbelievable how they have been able to stop the Tom Bean offense here in the first half. We're going to go down to Gentry Little here in just a moment. We're going to be talking with him along with David Horner, the head coach of the Tom Bean Tomcats, and see if they've got any solution as to how they're going to be able to dip this Howe Bulldog defense. David, it looks like they have really done a tremendous job in their practices this week in preparing for the Tomcat offense.
That's right, BK. Howe coaches ought to be very proud of their defensive efforts tonight. They've held the Tomcats in check most of the night. They've had a few exciting plays, but very few. We've had Howe started most of their drives on the 40, 44, 43, 35, and BK, they drove to the inside and to the outside, and they've also had very, very good success, mostly running the outside of the Tom Bean Tomcats defense.
Let's go down now to Gentry Little and Coach David Horner.
I hear in the background sound like the Texas A&M Warham. Here comes David Horner to Tom Bean, who's down 14-0. Coach, we were just talking about earlier, how are you going to do it in the second half with this run-and-shoot offense?
No, we just, they didn't do anything we didn't anticipate. We're just not executing. We're just not flat getting after it. They can't play, we didn't.
What did you tell the men in the locker room?
They got to play with a little pride. If they want to get out here and get the butt kicked, I guess we will. But if we don't get to play, that's what's going to happen. If we'll show a little pride, we'll be all right.
That is Coach David Horner of the Tom Bean Tomcats, and he sounds very upset, and he should be, because the run-and-shoot right now is more like the run-and-spurt.
Well, that's a pretty good description, I guess. But, of course, the Tomcats certainly are in this ballgame, only trailing 14-0. And you could, I guess, David, you could say that he was a little upset because, he said that they're not doing anything defensively that they did not realized that they would probably be doing. They're just not executing, and they're not following through. And I have a feeling we may see a different Tomcat offense here in the second half.
Well, if they come out in the second half like they ran down the field just now, fired up and stay fired up, they'll be back in this ball game shortly. BK, Coach Horner, he expressed concern about pride. I think Tomcats got a lot of pride tonight, and their defense showed it. They played a good game on defense. It was due to one interception down on the 20-yard line that Howe scored their first score, and their defense is a lot of pride tonight, and showing that they can play with this Howe offense. They just made just very few mistakes on defense, but their offense yet lacks on getting started rolling tonight.
Clay Dedman will be kicking off for the Howe Bulldogs, and of course it'll be Chris Henley and Brad Lowe back deep to lead the kickoff. Number 10 in the middle, who normally fields the ball, is Michael Cooper. And he kind of starts the reverses and all that, and here's the kickoff, and it will be going to Brad Lowe at the 15. He drops the ball, now picks it back up, heading upfield to about the 20, and that's where he's going to be hit and brought down by the Bulldogs, as it's big number 76 coming in to make the tackle for the Howe Bulldogs. And again, I do not have a number for number 76 unless I have it on my other roster, and I do not. Some of these players not listed as far as their numbers on the roster. So whoever number 76 is, he made a very good tackle that time. And if that happens to be your son or grandson or whatever, then maybe you'll know it by the number. At any rate, it's first down and 10 for the Bean Tomcats. They come out trailing here in the first half by a score of 14-0 to open up the second half. Adam Ball is still in at quarterback. Brian Van Norman will be the lone setback, although Brad Lowe was set there momentarily. He goes in motion. Here is the handoff fumble, and it's going to be recovered by the Howe Bulldogs at the 21-yard line. And again, execution not taking place for the Tomcat offense, as it'll be first down and 10 for the Bulldogs from that point. Not a good way to start the second half, Gentry.
Yeah, it really is. I don't ever remember Houston running, and I refer to Houston because they're really the only team that does the run and shoot, running off the option. It just doesn't work because everybody's so spread out, you're going man-to-man. But Howe has a great chance here to put some nails in the coffin for the Tomcats.
Joey McMillian flanked out wide to the left for the Howe Bulldogs. Split backfield. Here's Carson. Quick handoff, and that's Ogle. He'll get inside the 15 to about the 13 over left tackle behind Monty Brown. He was tackled by Brad Lowe of the Tomcats, but a gain of about 5. It'll bring up second down and 5 for the Bulldogs, who lead in the ball game by a score of 14-0 and have a great opportunity of scoring another touchdown early, and that might be something the Tomcats cannot overcome, even though they have the type of offense that can come back in a hurry. At any rate, the Bulldogs come out of the huddle. Coming out to the far side is a wide receiver once again. It's Joey McMillian. In the backfield, we have Ogle, and no sign of Michael Bailey as of yet. Here's the little cross handoff, and this is Michael Bailey inside the 20 down to the 5-yard line. Let's check it. That's number 22. That is Michael Bailey, and they're a 150-pound junior. And, well, as you said, he's going to be back after the stitches and all that, so this guy's a tough little ball player.
Oh, he really is. He's running with a lot of determination. What the Howe players said coming out of the huddle is, hey, guys, we got them down 14-0 at their place. Let's make them play our kind of football. The wind has started to pick up a little.
John Norwood now in at one of the fullback positions, or one of the fullback positions, the only fullback position, and he'll get the football, and he's going to be close getting into the end zone. He might have been about a yard shy, as it was number 52, Penal, making the tackle for the Bean Tomcats. But again, I'll tell you what, this Howe Bulldog offense right now is taking over as far as in the front line. They're just getting off the football much quicker than the defensive alignment for the Tomcats. As they come to the line of scrimmage, Wade Carson is the quarterback, split backfield. Here's the handoff. It's going to be a touchdown for the Howe Bulldogs. John Norwood takes it over left tackle behind Monty Brown, and it's 20-0 in favor of the Bulldogs, and they're on their way for the big showdown meeting next Friday against the Bells Panthers if this continues to hold up as it is right now.
BK, I was going to ask you real quickly for the fans, where will that game be next week?
It'll be in Howe, and of course that will be a big advantage for the Bulldogs. Bells, of course, a fine football team, and they will have to play maybe their best ball game with the exception of maybe Pilot Point to win that ball game. And I'll tell you what, the Bulldog defense looks like it can be very devastating to any offense, because when you stop Tom Bean's offense, you can say you've done something. Thus far, they have done that. Offsides are going to be the call. Is that correct on the extra point?
It's either offside. No, it's false start. Apparently, Howe moved. I was going to ask you how good. I haven't covered how this year, BK, but how good does Howe play at Bulldog Stadium?
Well, they got off to a rather slow start. I know that. They were like 1-3 or 1-4, and then they have kind of reeled off a couple of 2 or 3 victories in a row and got themselves back in a position now to make the playoffs. And it's been their defense that's kept them in the ball games. Their offense has sputtered all year, but it's beginning to come around, as indicated last week in their 27-10 victory over Callisburg. Here's the extra point, and it is going to be no good, off to the right, as Monty Walker, after the 5-yard penalty, did not manage to get it through the upright. So it remains at 20-0 with 10:17 to play in the second half. We'll be back with more of KMKT's Area High School Football Game of the Week after these words.
Sponsors of those Tom Bean Tomcats.
It looks like there's a question mark on the field prior to the kickoff. Now everything seems to be in order. Gentry?
Well, what it is referee has been gracious enough to give us 70 seconds for our sponsors, so that's what the delay is.
Well, I'm glad of that. Maybe we'll be able to get in a lot of sponsors here in the second half, as preparing to kick off will be number 74. That's going to be Clay Dedman, the 200-pound junior. And here's the on the ball, and the kick is in the air. Here is the ball going down to about the 15-yard line to Michael Cooper. They hand it off to Brad Lowe on the crossbuck, and he'll get it out to about the 25-yard line. That's where Tom Bean will take over first down and 10, trailing 20-0 here, early here in the second half of play.
BK, it's interesting right now that Tom Bean fans are sitting on their hands. I think they're more cold and want to go home than watching this game. This run-and-shoot offense, as I said, is more like the run-and-spurt. And I tell you, Tom Bean's got to have at least a big play. But this offense is a big play offense here in the third quarter, and it's not over yet.
They'll spurt a little while, but after a while, they'll come through. Here's the quarterback, Adam Ball, being hit in the backfield, and he'll be dropped for a big loss. Number 65 got him first. And again, I apologize. That's going to be Chris Hartwell. Started to say I didn't have his number, but I do. Chris Hartwell, a 165-pound senior, and he came blasting in off that left side. His low, ball started to roll out in that direction, and he had no chance whatsoever of getting that football off, David.
That's right, BK. Howe Bulldogs defensive line just blew through the offensive line on the Tom Bean Tomcats and got to the quarterback that time.
Adam Ball has him back to the line. Single setback is going to be Van Norman. Here's the quick pass over the middle. Chris Henley's got it. 20, 24 yards. And that was just a little quick down and in, and Henley catches it and makes about 6 yards after he catches it. So it'll bring about a third down, and the Tomcats are going to need about 12 or maybe 13. Let's go down to Gentry Little.
BK, football is not the only thing that causes injury. I've got a band member, Susan Arrington, here of the Tom Bean Tomcat band, who sprained her ankle. Susan, what happened?
I was out there practicing, and I landed on my foot wrong.
We'll come back to you in just a moment as Adam Ball has him back to the line of scrimmage. It's going to be third down and 13. Ball rolls out to the right. Now trying to set up, looking downfield, throws, and it's going to be out of bounds. Nobody could catch that one back. Defending on the play was Ogle. The intended receiver was number 21 out there for the Tom Bean Tomcats, Brian Baxley. But again, Adam Ball is just not finding any receivers open. And it's going to be punt time again for the Tomcats. Let's go back down to the field with Gentry Little.
And Susan is telling us a sprained ankle. Is band as physical a sport as they say it is? I mean, can you get hurt this bad?
Yeah.
Were you pleased with the performance tonight?
Yeah, I was.
Are you cold?
Yes, I'm very cold.
Here's Feltner with the punt, and it's going to be fielded by Ogle at about the 40. He gets it back up to about the 48-yard. It'll bring up 8:44 on the clock as the possession change takes place, with the Bulldogs leading it by a score of 20-0. Adam Ball, of course, has had his problems tonight with this Bulldog defense. Wade Carson now on offense for the Bulldogs, has them up to the line of scrimmage. Coming over, setting up in the slot is James Fulenchek. And he'll get the football on the left side to the 50 to the 45. He's to the 40, 35 to the 30 to 25, into the 20 and down to about the 15-yard line goes Fulenchek. He was tripped up by the cornerback over there. I believe that was Michael Brown who tripped him up and saved the touchdown. But that was a little trickery in the backfield that time, Gentry.
It was. It's the option reverse. You fake to the fullback. The tight end swings around on the reverse with the guard pulling, and that's exactly what you want to do against this type of defense. The Tom Bean defense, BK, is tired. They're bending over, they're grabbing their helmets, they're taking them off. They're even going down to one knee and trying to get an extra breath before this next play. And Howe looks like they may score again.
First down and 10 at the 15-yard line in Tomcat territory for the Bulldogs. Here's the handoff, and quickly up the middle goes Ogle. He's breaking tackles, or is that Ogle or Norwood? Looks like it's Norwood, as Norwood will get it about maybe to the 8 or 9-yard line. Norwood has been the fullback for the biggest part of the season. Of course, he's been out, and now as I looked, that was Michael Bailey with the football and not Norwood. I saw the two going to the pile, and then when it came out, I saw the other two. So Michael Bailey in there at quarterback. Somebody's on our line during the broadcast. I don't know what's happening, but at any rate, maybe we'll get back to play. Here's the handoff, goes to Norwood, or Norwood inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line, and it'll bring up about a third down and maybe about 2 yards for the first down. They'll only need about 3 for the touchdown, it looks like, from this point. Gentry?
Well, what it is the goal line defense now is in for Tom Bean. And once again, BK, I've never seen athletes this tired this early in a ball game. I can understand the fourth quarter, but not this early in the third.
Up to the line of scrimmage, third down and 2, come the Bulldogs as they threaten to blow this one wide open. Handoff Norwood, and he is going to be close to the goal line. Did he get in? He did not get in. He's down close to the goal line, but not quite. Norwood has scored, I believe, 2 touchdowns tonight and was trying for his third encounter that time. Norwood, number 32 on his jersey. He's a senior, a 190-pounder, and he's a good one. Also a very good defensive player for the Bulldogs. Plays the right linebacker on defense. Split backfield as they come to the line of scrimmage. Quarterback sneak. It's going to be touchdown for Wade Carson on the quarterback sneak, and the Bulldogs are pulling away now, and comfortably so, at 27-0 here in the third quarter of play, as the extra point will be applied or attempted, at least, by number 42, Monty Walker. They've added the 7th point up there before he kicks the extra point, David.
That's true, BK.
A lot of confidence.
That's right. Howe started that drive on their own 48-yard line, and in 5 plays later, they scored their touchdown. They're just really blowing the Tom Bean defensive line off the ball. We can tell that Tom Bean defense is really getting tired at this point.
Snap back to Grogan. Kick on the way by Monty Walker, and it's good. Our score now goes to 27-0 with 6:50 to play, third quarter. You're listening to KMKT's Area High School Football Game of the Week. We'll be back in just a moment.
The Tom Bean Booster Club is a proud sponsor for tonight's broadcast. Community Justice Siding Company.
27-0 our score with 6:50 to play, third quarter. The Howe Bulldogs have opened this one up, and really and truly, if the Tomcats hope to get back in this game, they're going to have to do it on this drive. They can't wait very much longer, David.
That's right, BK. Howe came out in the second half just knowing that they had to stay in this game and stay strong defensively and offensively. Right now, Howe's fixing to kick off for the third time each drive that they've had. Here in the second half, they've scored on BK.
Once again, Trey Dedman will be kicking off for the Bulldogs, and the Tomcats, of course, will be setting up in that return with Michael Cooper in the middle, Chris Henley, and, of course, Brad Lowe flanking him on his left and right side. As Trey Dedman walks up to the football now, we'll walk back about 7 or 8 yards and wait for the official's whistle with our score 27-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. Here's the kick, and it's kind of a low-line drive-type kick that'll be picked up there at the 20 up to the 25 and maybe to the 30 was Michael Ross, or rather Michael Cooper, and it will be first down and 10 for the Tom Bean Tomcats from their own 30-yard line, trailing 27-0 and trying very desperately to get something that works against this Bulldog defense. So far tonight, it has not done so, whatever they've tried.
BK, Tom Bean's offense really needs to get going right now, BK. They've only had 1 first down. That was midway through the first quarter.
Yeah, they have just been throttled completely. Here's Adam Ball rolling left, now rolls right, now throws, and it's going to be knocked away on a good defensive play by Sean Stevenson, who came across from his, actually he was the outside linebacker that time. He came across, knocked the ball down. It was intended for number 21 out there, Brian Baxley, and that was a good defensive play once again by that Howe defense. And Gentry, I'll tell you what, it's just doesn't look too good for the Tomcat offense right now.
Well, it really doesn't. If they have any type of option or sweep, I would run it because the way the linebackers are playing, they're so loose, they're playing 5 or 6 yards off the ball. They could make that up the middle on the option.
They come out in the full house backfield this time. In motion will come number 22. That's going to be Brad Lowe. Here's the pass, and it goes out to Baxley. He'll cross the 35 to about the 36. So a completed pass. It will pick up close to 4 yards on the play, bring up 3rd down and 6 for the Tomcats.
BK, Tom Bean's trying to get that outside pass. They're rolling out mostly all evening now. They're trying to get that outside pass to connect. Howe's defensive backs are on top of the situation. They are really playing this run and shoot rather well.
The only thing that's really worked as far as offensively for the Tomcats in their passing game has been the down and in, and they want to keep throwing the outs. And somewhere along the way, something's got to be open in the middle, as it is right now, but the quarterback rolls to the right. Adam Ball looks downfield, now throws. He's got a man. It's a 1st down at the 48-yard line, and that's going to be Brad Lowe with the reception. So the Tomcats finally pick up the 1st down, and, well, that's good news for Tomcat fans. They finally get something to cheer about, and the route that he ran that time was much the same as it has been in the past, but unlike in the other situations, it looked like Brad Lowe came back to the football that time to help his quarterback out. Would that be your assumption there, Gentry?
Yeah, Wood, I'm down here on the goal line watching the offense as I'm in the backfield, and what the receivers are doing is now they're running their route shorter, but at least they're coming back to the football.
Adam Ball has him back to the line. Single back is Brian Van Norman. Adam will roll out, throws out to Henley. He's going to be hit right immediately as he caught the football at the 47, a loss of 2. And it's Sean Stevenson on the tackle. He threw the football down. A lot of people thought maybe a flag should have fell, but it did not, as he was a little bit disgusted after he caught the pass, and Stevenson was right there to wrap the arms around his legs. So no gain on the play. In fact, a loss of about 3. It'll bring up 2nd down and 13. David, it looks like, again, that dog defense is every bit as good as what we heard it was.
Absolutely, BK. Howe is still playing that football. They're not playing the receiver or anything. They're playing the ball. They're going for the ball.
Shane Penal up over the football at center for the Tomcats. In motion goes Chris Henley. Now here's the pass, and almost intercepted coming across, defending on the play. Number 7 for the Bulldogs, and that's Wade Carson. He read that one very nicely. They sent a man in motion. That was Henley, and as he was running toward the quarterback in motion, the snap was made, and the quarterback quickly tried to throw out to the flat where Henley had come from, and there was Wade Carson to knock it down. It'll bring up 3rd down for the Tomcats. They need 13 for the 1st down. The ball at the 46-yard line. Tomcat territory. Adam Ball has him back to the line. 2 wide receivers to either side. As he rolls out to the right, being rushed. Gets a good block, though. Now looks downfield, throws. Got a man out there, but he has to scoop it up. Incomplete. At about the 38-yard line. Had the pass been a little bit higher, it would have been a completion to Brad Lowe, as he was wide open that time. But again, the quarterback was getting a little pressure at the very start of that play, but he managed to get out of it. And throwing on the run, he threw a little bit short to Brad Lowe. Gentry?
I tell you, BK, I don't mean to be critical, but that pattern on 3rd down where he ought to pump that, let the defender bite, and then go down the sidelines like a streak.
And the punt is blocked as Feltner was punting the ball. Number 65, Chris Hartwell, comes in to block it. And everything is going wrong tonight for the Tomcats, both offensively and defensively, as the Dogs are just taking over this football game, David.
That's right, BK. They're trying their best, I know, BK, but Tom Bean just cannot seem to get it together.
Let's go down to the field with Gentry Little. He's got somebody pretty down there, and it's a Tomcat cheerleader.
Yes, it is. I'm with Christy, and Christy, it doesn't look good for your Tomcats down 27-0.
No, it don't, but maybe they'll come back and try to win it.
Talk about homecoming next week.
Homecoming's next week, and they announced the 4 nominees today at school. We're excited about that.
And how much of a crowd do you think you'll expect?
Well, a pretty big crowd.
BK, if all the cheerleaders were like this one right here, football would be a lot better.
Hey, ask her who all the nominees are.
We want to know who the nominees are.
For Mr. Touchdown, they're Brian Baxley, Brad Lowe, Barry Cox, Jeremy Bullard, and Michael Brown. And for homecoming is Jackie Mitchison, Michelle Morrison, me, and Becky Scott and Christmas Brown.
BK, which of us want to fight over this escort next week?
Okay. we have a timeout on the field, and we'll take this timeout. We'll be back with KMKT's area high school football game of the week in just a moment. And we missed one play, a 3-yard gain by Ogle, and it will bring up 2nd down and 7 for the Howe Bulldogs. Coming to the line of scrimmage, single back in the backfield, and rolls out to the left, being rushed, and he's going to be brought down on a nice defensive play by the Tomcats, Tommy Hunter, who really came in strong that time, grabbed the quarterback and threw him to the turf at the 48-yard line. A big loss of about 10 on the play, and it's going to bring up 3rd down for the Bulldogs. Gentry.
I tell you, that was probably the biggest defensive play Tom Bean's made all night. That may be the spark right now. Like I said, with a run-and-shoot offense, 2 or 3 plays, and you're back in this ball game. But I think the problem with Tom Bean, though, 1, they're down 27-0. 2, the clock is running against them.
Bulldogs come up to the line of scrimmage, 3rd down, and they need a bunch. They need 20 for the 1st down. Here's the handoff, and it goes to Ross, who jitterbugs his way inside the 45 to the 41-yard line. And there he is, met by number 31, and James Bailey is the tackler, it looks like. So 4th down for the Bulldogs, a punting situation, and so the Tomcat offense, or rather defense, really did a tremendous job that time on that series of downs, as the Bulldogs will have to punt, and it will be number 42 in punt formation. Monty Walker standing inside his own 45-yard line. Gets a snap, fumbles the ball, hit the Tomcats, and they're going to get the football, picks it up. Here's Henley to the 40, to 35, and down to the 33, but he cannot advance the football, so it will come to where he recovered the ball at about the 46-yard line, but he did make it exciting anyway, and Gentry, now the Tomcats have something to cheer about.
Well, right now they don't. They got a man down. Well, now he's up. But yeah, you're right. This is 2 big plays now. Remember the sack and then this bad snap punt. Hey, folks, this ball game is not over. We got 3:32 to go in only the 3rd quarter, plus we got all the 4th quarter. I think the momentum, BK, is starting to swing over just a little bit toward Tom Bean, but we'll see how this offense works.
Well, the Tomcats have been in a situation before where they have had the lead and then had to hold on. Now they have to come back after being behind. Aubrey was a good example. They led 21-0 and then came back to make it a 21-18 score. Here is the quarterback trying to find somebody to throw it to. He had all day to throw it, but nobody was open, and then finally it was number 65, Chris Hartwell, who came in from behind and got the quarterback, and it's really a wonder that Adam Ball did not fumble the football on that one, Gentry.
Yeah, he really did. Number 10 was wide open on a swing pattern because the linebacker cheated and went up toward the quarterback. He's got to look for other receivers besides his primary one.
It'll bring up 2nd down and 9 for the Tomcats. Fumble on the snap, and Adam Ball did manage to fall down on it. Well, David, it's plays this that can just kill you and your momentum, and now the Tomcats have a little momentum prior to this last down or 2.
That's right, BK. He didn't quite get a sack on him that last time, BK. He gained about a yard, but in that fumble, he gained about a yard also. So they hadn't lost anything, but they're still trying to get that offense in track.
3rd down and 8 for the Tomcats. In motion goes Henley to the near side, to the far side. Here's Adam Ball rolling out to the left. He's being rushed. They're trying to set up the screen. Couldn't do it. We have pass interference. And it's going to go, actually, Brian Van Norman was the intended receiver, and it looks like well, I couldn't really tell who that was. Might have been Wade Carson that came in there defending on the play, but anyway, it's going to be pass interference against the Howe Bulldogs, and it will set up Tom Bean, I believe, with a 1st down. That is a 10-yard penalty in high school football, I believe. That is correct, isn't it, Gentry?
Yes, it is. We also had a flag on the near side, offsides against Howe. The receiver for Tom Bean was like 2 yards off the line of scrimmage, and the Howe defender was staring him right in the eyeballs, as they say, but the interference penalty is bigger. And now, DK, this is the first time, I believe, you may have to correct me, that this is a penetration for Tom Bean inside the Howe 40-yard line. The Howe coaches on the far sidelines, from what I can tell, are not happy now with the defense, as the referee is discussing the option with the quarterback for Tom Bean, who is starting to get his arm back a little bit. He didn't really throw that much in warm-up beginning the 3rd quarter, but now he's starting to find his receivers, and as we'll talk about on the run-and-shoot offense, BK, for your 2nd, 3rd, and 4th receivers and not just your primary one.
They are going to take the pass interference penalty, of course, and decline the offside penalty. So it will be 1st down and 10 for Tom Bean, although the ball is still in the same location. So I'm not sure. They just moved the sticks up about a yard or 2. I'm not sure what happened. The ball is at the 43, down and 10 for Tom Bean anyway, as Adam Ball has them to the line. They have a full house backfield. I'm sure that's going to change here in just a moment with a lot of motion. And out of the middle of it comes Brad Lowe. Here's the quarterback, Adam Ball, rolling to his left, throwing downfield. He's got a man out there. It's complete and dropped. He dropped right in the breadbasket at the 10-yard line, or actually it was at the 15-yard line. That ball should have been caught, and I'm sure that Brad Lowe will tell you immediately that he should have had that one, David.
That's right, BK. You kind of have put your heart out to these guys. They try hard all night long, and he just, the ball just, no excuse, it just went right through his hands. And I know he's wishing he had that one back.
Well, Gentry was right on the field with that one, and Gentry, that was close to being the biggest play of the ball game for the Tom Bean Tomcats.
That really was, BK. I'll get a comment after this play.
Here come the Cats to the line of scrimmage. They have the ball at the 43-yard line in Bulldog territory. Haven't been there too often tonight. Second down and 10. Here's the handoff. Van Norman is hit right at the line of scrimmage. And I mean, he had no place to go whatsoever. As it was number 64, Kevin Gray on the tackle, bring up third down and 11 for the Tomcats as they find themselves again in a situation where it's long yardage. And in the past, that has not really made a lot of difference to this offense, Gentry.
Yeah, it really hasn't, because they haven't been able to move the ball. The comment I was going to make is the Tomcats were tight in warm-up. They were dropping passes. It showed on the two plays before.
Tomcats to the line. Here's Adam Ball rolling out to the left, looking for Henley. Throws. He's got him out there, but the ball was way out in front of him at about the 32-yard line in Bulldog territory. It'll be incomplete. It would have been very close for the first down had the ball been target. However, it'll bring up fourth down, and I think we have a penalty, do we not?
We got a holding penalty on Tom Bean offensive line there, BK. I didn't catch which one held. I didn't see that, but it's just another...
one of those shoot-yourself-in-the-foot type plays, right?
That's right, BK. We've seen Howe play a good defense, and the defensive line was back chasing the quarterback, and somewhere in all the mess there, one of the offensive linemen, Tom Bean, held the Howe Bulldogs, and so we're backing it up 10 yards.
Other games being played in the district tonight, of course, Aubrey is at Pilot Point, S&S is at Callisburg, and Whitewright is at Bells. Right now, we're in Tom Bean as the Howe Bulldogs leading 27-0. Adam Ball back to pass on third down, long downfield, intended for Henley at about the 30. It's overthrown, defending on the play, though, and really doing a good job of it was Sean Stevenson, and he was not going to catch the ball, I don't think, had it even been on target, because he was right there with him step for step. And it will bring up fourth down for the Tomcats. They need 21 for the first down. It's going to be Sean Feltner inside his 35 at about the 33 to punt this ball away. And back to receive the punt is going to be number 24, I believe. That's Damian Horton. And it will be caught at the 24-yard line by Scott Grogan. So from that point, it's first down and 10 for the Bulldogs as they have the 27-0 lead. And we'll try to add to that. The Pilot Point, the Tom Bean Tomcats really had the opportunity that time to maybe get the touchdown. They dropped the sure pass at about the 15-yard line to Brad Lowe a moment ago, and from that point, everything kind of started to mess up for the Tomcat offense, because they had the fumble, and then, of course, the penalty, and everything kind of just not bouncing the Tomcats' way tonight.
Well, we're fixing to see how the Tom Bean defense, they were fired up on the last possession. Let's see what they're going to do this time.
Here's a handoff,
like they're fired up again.
In the backfield is Chris Henley. As the running back got the football, he was hit immediately, and that was Michael Bailey, the tailback, and Bailey just, he didn't have any place to go that time. A great effort by Chris Henley, and then by the time that Bailey broke the tackle, there were a lot more Tomcats back there to help him out to make sure that Bailey didn't go anywhere at all. In fact, he lost about 7 on the play, bring up second down and 17 as the Howe Bulldogs come out on offense. Good defense really practically all night for the Tomcats. They have given up a couple of big plays, but overall they played quite well. Here's the quarterback back to pass, and he's going to be dropped all the way back inside the 5-yard line, as I think he missed the handoff to the running back. And then he was in trouble, and it was number 44, Tommy Hunter, back there to run him out of bounds. And Gentry, did you see that a little better than I did?
Yeah, I did. What happened was he was looking for the screen that scored their first touchdown, and there was really nobody open. I tell you, BK, this Tomcat defense looks pretty good right now. They've pushed Howe all the way back for they need 20. Howe needs 20-something yards for a first down, and there's still the fourth quarter to go. So this game is not over yet. But I think if Howe gets a couple of first downs and maybe put some points on the board, we could kiss this game over with.
It's third down and a bus ride for the Howe Bulldogs as they come to the line of scrimmage. Here's the quarterback back to pass. No, he hands it off on the draw play, and he'll get it up across the 5 or 6 yard line, and that's all. Michael Bailey, no place to go. Fourth down, and the Bulldogs are going to have to punt inside their end zone, and so the Tomcats are looking to maybe get something on the scoreboard. They should have good field position. There's a timeout on the field. Our KMKT Area High School Game of the Week will continue after these words.
Agency in Pottsboro.
Here is the punt, and it will be fielded at the 31-yard line, and that's where Tom Bean will take over the football. Brian Baxley fielding that ball from, of course, the punter, number 42, Monty Walker, and he had to punt that ball from inside his end zone, about a 28-yard punt. And so the Tomcats have great field position to begin this drive. In fact, the best field position they've had all night, David.
That's right, BK. They're starting on the own 31 line, and if offense can get fired up is in play as well as the defense. The defensive line and linebackers have really played a good second half.
Tomcats to the line of scrimmage. Here's Adam Ball. Straight back to pass. Looks downfield. He's got a man, and it's complete. It's going to be a touchdown or close to it for the Tomcats. They're down to about the 1 yard line, and on the reception was number 21, Brian Baxley. And that's what I was saying a moment ago. The middle is open, and they have not thrown in the middle most of the night. But that time the pass was right on target from Adam Ball to Brian Baxley. First down and goal to go for the Tomcats. Go ahead, David.
BK, we've talked about that offensive line really not protecting well. They protected Adam Ball very, very well that play and give him time.
First down and goal to go for the Tomcats. Brian Van Dorman in the backfield. Quarterback sneak. It's a touchdown for the Tomcats. As the quarterback sneak by Adam Ball gets the Tomcats in the end zone as the third quarter comes to a close. So that was a heck of a nice way to begin a fourth quarter because of the fact they end up the third quarter with a touchdown and have the momentum. And, well, you can say what you want to about this ball game maybe being a little too far out for Tom Bean to maybe make up ground on how and win this football game, but as fast as they can score points when their offense is working, 21 points or so is really no hill that far that they can't climb. Gentry, I guarantee you, I've seen this done before.
Oh, yeah, it's not over yet. What's funny is they haven't put the score on the scoreboard yet. Yeah, there it goes.
All right, they're going to go for the two-point conversion. Here's Adam Ball rolling to the left, throws in the end zone, and it's just out of the reach of number 21, but there's a flag on the play, as indicated by Gentry Little, and I'm not sure who it's going to be against. Actually, it was against Tom Bean for holding, and Brian Baxley, who really went up high to get that pass from the quarterback, Adam Ball on the two-point conversion, just couldn't quite get there, but it would have been brought back anyway. So our score is at 27-6 in favor of the Howe Bulldogs. Our KMKT Area High School Game of the Week will continue after these words.
As possible.
Tomcats have just scored, and it's 27-6. And David, that has added a little bit of life, and not only into the players but the fans here at Tom Bean.
That's right, BK. Tom Bean's offensive line's got a lot to be proud of on that drive right there. They started on their own 31 with great, well, the best field position they had all night. First play right out the bat, they give the quarterback great protection, 30-yard pass down to the 1 yard line, and then quarterback sneaks it in for 6 points, and of course they missed the extra point there, but they did a fabulous job in running their play.
Here's the onside kick, and it will be fielded right in the breadbasket by number 62, who was up on that line, Boyd Kilo. And Kilo will have it at the 49-yard line, and that's where he's going to be down. And the Bulldogs now have great field position, as that onside kick just didn't bounce right for the Tomcats.
Oh, they really couldn't. I think I would have waited a little bit. It's still, you got 11:57 going to ball game. Let your defense do some work now, but unfortunately, the defense has, the Howe's on the 48-yard line, so they're 52 yards away from their zone.
Well, one thing about it, he's got to pull out most of the stops now and try to get the football back and score quickly. And I'm speaking to David Horner, the coach for the Tomcats. Handoff goes up the middle across the 50 into Tom Bean territory at about the 48-yard line. And on the carry is going to be Scott Grogan. Correction, that was Michael Ross on the carry. And it looked like number 10 on the tackle for the Tomcats, Michael Cooper. It'll bring up second down, about 6 needed for the Bulldogs after a 4-yard gain by Michael Ross. Ross has come in, of course, for Bailey, who has been injured for a big part of this football game with that laceration about the nose. Here's the quick handoff around the right side of the line. Goes Michael Ross. He's down to the 40, the 35, the 30, down to the 25-yard line. Goes Michael Ross. He was run out of bounds by Brad Lowe, but boy, I tell you what, Michael Ross has got a lot of speed, and if he ever gets to the corner, he can take it the distance. He reminds me a lot of the guy from Aubrey that we saw. Once he gets around the corner, you can kiss it goodbye.
That's right. 33, I can't remember his name.
Ramsey
is right. We seen last Friday night, Beak, it ran so good to the outside. Once he squared up his shoulders, he was gone.
So the Bulldogs have it first down and 10. The ball is spotted at the 21-yard line in Tom Bean territory. As the Bulldogs come to the line of scrimmage, Wade crossing the quarterback, split backfield. Here's the handoff, goes to Norman. He gets it inside the 20 to about the 17-yard line. There he's hit by number 21, and that's going to be Brian Baxley. But again, the Howe Bulldog offense is coming to life after getting good field position on the onside kick attempt a moment ago by Tom Bean that failed, and Howe is taking advantage of it. They don't want to get into a scoring affair with Tom Bean here in the fourth quarter and let this ball game get out of hand, I don't think, Gentry.
I don't think they really. I think Howe wants to show right now that they are the dominant team and drive it right down their throats.
Coming out to the near side is the wide receiver, Joey McMillian. Split backfield as Carson will hand it off quickly. Goes to Ogle inside the 15 to about the 13, and he's gained tackle there by a whole host of black-shirted Tom Bean Tomcats, led by number 75, and of course that's Barry Cox. Barry Cox the tackle on that play, and it was a minimum gain on it. It'll bring up second down, third down should be. Holding against Tom Bean is going to be a call, and I didn't see that flag. And I'm not sure what holding would have been on a running play. Do you, Gentry?
No, the referee just changed his call. It's now holding against Howe. I was going to say, if you're on defense, how are you going to hold a guy and not bring him down?
Yeah, that's what I was about to say because of the fact that he called a holding penalty. It was a running play anyway, and, you know, normally you might see that as far as a defensive holding, trying to keep a receiver from beating you, but on that particular play, I didn't see it. At any rate, it's a penalty against the offense, the Howe Bulldogs. It'll march all the way back to the 26-yard line, and will bring up second down and about 16 needed for the Bulldogs for the first down. They lead in the ball game with 27-6 with 10:14 to play. Here's the handoff, and here's a big opening, and that's John Norwood down inside the 10. He's to the 5. He may get in. He didn't. He got run out of bounds at about the 3-yard line, and running him out of bounds was Michael Cooper. But again, he got a good block. I don't see any flags on the field this time, and looks like that play is going to stand as a good run by John Norwood.
He once again caught that defensive line for Tom Bean on the inside and just went out through the outside of the defensive line there, and where they have been gaining most of their yards all night has been to the outside, to the right and to the left.
It'll be first down and goal to go for the Bulldogs. They come out in a full house backfield handoff. John Norwood in for the touchdown for the Bulldogs. He went right behind Chris Hartwell, Gerard Powell, and Trey Dedman on that right side. They had a big hole over there for him, and Norwood has scored his third touchdown of the evening to run the score to 33-6 in favor of the Howe Bulldogs. Look out, Bells Panthers. Next week it's your turn, and this could turn out to be one heck of a ball game in Howe, Texas next week as the Panthers and the Bulldogs meet, and there's lots riding on it. Beside, of course, the coaching situation there. Of course, Joey McLean having coached at Bells last year, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later. Here's the snap back, the kick on the way. It's up, and it's good. So 34-6 is our score now as the Howe Bulldogs get on the scoreboard once again. We'll be back with more of KMKT's Area High School Game of the Week after this.
Bridal Boutique.
Okay, welcome back to Tom Bean. Our score has just went to 34-6 with the Howe Bulldogs driving 51 yards on that last drive and getting the touchdown on a 4-yard run by John Norwood, his third of the evening. Tomcats now are looking maybe to just make this game a little bit more respectable, and certainly with the kind of offense they got, they can do that. But I don't know if they have that much offense they can come back from being 28 points down here in the fourth quarter.
That's right, BK. Howe's defense is has played awful good this
awful? No, they have played very good.
They played very good, and this last drive that Tom Bean started on their own 31 that scored their touchdown.
Here's the kickoff. Henley will field it at the 5, drops it, picks it back up, tries to reverse his field, gets it out to the 10, and that's all. Oh, boy, Henley fumbled that football, and the Bulldog specialty teams was down there in a hurry, and it was led by number 62 would be Gerard Kilo. And it's first down and 10 for Tom Bean, who again starts in bad field position and has for most of the night, with the exception of the last couple of times. They've got pretty good field position. They took advantage of it once for their only touchdown in this ball game, and right now they're 90 yards away from that goal line, and well, that's like forever, because this Bulldog defense has not allowed Tom Bean much in terms of driving the football on long drives. Here's Adam Ball, has him back to the line of scrimmage. Will roll out to the right, now running the option play. Pitch back goes to Henley. Henley crosses the 6. They might have got close to the 9, and he loses about a yard on that play, brings up second down 11 as they tried to run the option play out of that run and shoot. And as Gentry said a moment ago, it just does not work in this situation, especially when you're behind and you're trailing and everybody is really just coming with everything. That has to really kind of set it up for the Bulldog defense, I would think, Gentry.
Well, it really does. The Bulldog defense is they're not reading anything, they're not watching anything, they're just moving with that ball snap, and it's really tough to run the option out of the run and shoot.
Full house backfield now, as I'm sure that will change again as Brad Lowe goes in motion. Here's the quarterback rolling out to the left, looking for the little flare pass, down throws, and it's intercepted and dropped, I think, all at one time. It was almost completed, almost intercepted, and then nobody caught it up around the 20-yard line. So a complete pass on that one, bring up third down and 12. We've got lots of high school football, of course, taking place tonight. Some big area games, and, maybe one of the biggest one will be taking place next week. We've mentioned the Bells-Howe game, but there's another one in Salina that should be a very interesting ball game, as Salina and Van Alstyne will battle it out. And, of course, if Van Alstyne was to pull off the upset, that would make it a three-way tie in that district for the championship, providing all the top teams win tonight. Of course, that's a big if. Third down 11 for Tom Bean, as Adam Ball straight back to pass, looking in his end zone. Now fires it out, and it's going to be incomplete. Almost hit the photographer in the head over here, but ball's incomplete. Bring up fourth down, and a punting situation again for the Tom Bean Tomcats. Well, nothing has really worked too well for the Tomcats tonight, except for that one drive after the good field position they had a moment ago on the short punt. But other than that, the Tomcat offense has just been almost non-existent against this Bulldog defense. And that has really been surprising to me. High snap out of the end zone. It'll be an automatic safety for the Howe Bulldogs. Actually, that was way over the head of the punter, Feltner. So the Bulldogs will add 2 more points to the scoreboard, and then, of course, it will be their ball after a free punt or kick by Tom Bean, their choice. 36-6 is our score, 8:55 to play. We'll be back with more of KMKT's area high school football game of the week in Gentlemen. Tom Bean, our score right now, 36-6, is Tom Bean will be punting on the free kick after the safety, and it will be fielded by Ogle, who drops the ball at the 40, picks it back up to the 45, up to the 50, the 48-yard line, and that's where he's going to be met by one of the Tom Bean players. I believe that's number 73, James Gibson, on the tackle, and it will be first down and 10 for Howe from that point in Tom Bean territory at the 48-yard line. Gentry?
Boy, BK, it's, I guess they say, when it's over, The coaches have already put their headphones in their case and locked it up and not even going to call plays anymore. Apparently, this is just to say, let's run out the clock. It's interesting that Howe's uniforms, BK, look a little bit like Odessa Permian's, except for the H and the P are different on the helmet.
Yeah, that is true. I didn't think about that until you just said it. Here's the handoff, goes to Ross on the right side again, 45. He's trying to cut it back inside against the grain and keep the clock moving. And that was a good choice by the young running back Ross, who has played exceptionally well for Michael Bailey, who's been injured in this ball game. Although he's played some in the second half, he has that laceration about the nose, and he's been in and out of the ball game. But Mr. Michael Ross has done a tremendous job for the Bulldogs in the tailback position tonight, and I'm sure we'll be talking to Michael after this football game is over, and Gentry Little will be making his way over in that direction after the game is over. First and 10, or correction, second down. Here's the handoff, John Norwood, and he jitterbugs his way and finds a little gaping hole on the left side, and he'll get it inside the 35 to about the 34. It will be a first down for the Howe Bulldogs. John Norwood has scored 3 touchdowns in the ball game. Domingo Rivera is the starting fullback now, and I haven't seen too much of Domingo tonight. I don't know if he's injured or what, but John Norwood has been in there for the biggest part of the night. As they break the huddle, we have a new quarterback in there, by the way. That's Scott Grogan, a 145-pound junior, running things down for the Bulldogs. And Coach Joey McQueen, we have illegal procedure as the left tackle moves just a little bit, and it will cost the Bulldogs a 5-yard penalty. So the 5-yard mark off will put it back to about the 39-yard line, and it will bring up, instead of 1st and 10, it'll be 1st and 15. Once again, Gentry Little will be on the Howe Bulldogs side after this ball game is over, talking to some of the players, and certainly I think we better wait until the ball game is over, but at any rate, we'll come to, we're thinking about getting an interview during the broadcast, but I would get permission to do that before I went over there. Here's the quick handoff on the inside, and this one on the little crossbuck to Sean Stevenson, who was set up in the slot, and he'll get it down to about the 36-yard line, and a gain of maybe 4 on the play, bring up 2nd down and 11. David, I don't know about you, but it's getting that time of the year where you start talking about the playoffs, the teams that's going to be there, and how far they might go, and some of the teams that I've covered this year, it looks like Salina, Farmersville, Pilot Point, Bells, all of these teams have excellent opportunities to go a long way in the playoffs.
They sure do.
They're going to knock each other out, though, before that can happen. That's the only bad thing.
They sure do, BK.
2nd down, 11 for the Bulldogs. Here's the quick pitch, and it goes right up the middle, and that's Ross again. He'll cream and crash his way down inside the 30 to about the 29-yard line. I think he thought he was going to get hit at the line of scrimmage. He kind of buried his head down as if that was what was going to happen, and then all of a sudden he found a big old hole there. He looked up, and he was falling down as he did, and couldn't never regain his composure enough to get his feet back under him. He actually wasn't tackled more than he fell down. It'll bring up 3rd down. The gain was all the way down to the 28-yard line. 3rd down and 5 for the Bulldogs. I formation this time, and the quick pitch goes to Ross, right side, the back end to about the 28. This time the Tom Bean defense had that one all figured out. Henley on the tackle. He was also helped out by number 31 for the Tomcats, who I'm going to have to look and see if I can find the number for. Let's go down to Gentry Little.
It was interesting right now. The Howe Bulldogs getting ready to set up for a long field goal. Now, if I can get over here, it's going to be about a 48-yarder on the right hash mark with a win.
It is going to be a long field goal, and it will be spotted at the 35, so it will be a 45-yard effort. Number 42, Monty Walker. Here's the snap, the kick on the way, and it's going to be way short and to the right. He didn't get all of that when he kind of kicked it off the side of his foot, and so it will be no good. So the Tomcats will take over on offense with 5:40 left to play in this football game. The Howe Bulldogs leading it by a score of 36-6. Let's take this quick break. We'll be back with KMKT and the area high school game of the week in just a moment.
South Denny and Howe, member FDIC.
And Adam Ball hits Michael Cooper for about a 6-yard gain on the first play that we, while we were in our commercial break. They got back to play a little bit quicker than what I thought. 2nd down now. Here's the Tomcat quarterback back to pass, and intercepted as Kevin Gray jumps up and gets the ball at about the 30, returns it to about the 30, maybe the 29 in Tomcat territory, and Adam Ball is just not having a very good night at all tonight. He's been harassed by that Bulldog defense for the biggest part of the night. That time he threw it upfield, and I thought for a moment he was going to have a receiver, but the ball was a little bit underthrown, in fact, quite a bit underthrown, and it was intercepted and returned all the way back to the 29-yard line for the Bulldog offense. Will take over once again. They lead in the game 36-6. They break the huddle, coming to the line of scrimmage once again at quarterback is number 11, Scott Grogan. And he'll have in the backfield number 22, Michael Bailey is back in there. It goes to Norwood on the dive play right up the middle.
The defense has been given a big ovation by the coaching staff. They've done one heck of a job holding this run-and-shoot offense to 6 points.
Scott Grogan has them to the line of scrimmage. Here's the handoff, goes right up the middle, and this is Michael Bailey inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. And there he's met by number 44. That's Tommy Hunter, who's played a pretty good ball game tonight. Tommy Hunter, 160-pound junior, and certainly I think for the Tom Bean defense, this guy here has maybe pulled off some of the bigger ones. He had that big sack a moment ago on the quarterback, Wade Carson, and that seemed to really fire up the Tomcats for a little while at least, and they ended up getting the touchdown just a little time after that sack. Here's Scott Grogan. Will hand it off. Quickly goes Michael Bailey. He's to the 20, the 15, down to the 10. Boy, I'll tell you what, Michael Bailey's a tough cookie. He had that laceration across his nose. He has a couple of 4 or 5 stitches in there, and he's back in here playing football. I guess we could credit that with Mr. Akey over there, the trainer, and he's done a tremendous job getting these guys back on the football field. He's there with you, you say?
Yeah, he's right here. Ricky Ake, who is a trainer at Austin College, graduated with me from East Texas State. And Ricky, it's interesting to see that there not been that many injuries tonight.
That's right.
First down and, let's check it. It is first down and 10 for the Bulldogs. And we have nothing as far as the flags fall. Here's the handoff, goes to Michael Bailey. He's down to the 5, he's down to the 3, and maybe got to the 2. As we kept waiting for flags to fall on that last play, and none fell. Everybody was moving around, and the Tomcats didn't. They really, if they had made contact, they would have gotten illegal procedure, I guess, called against the Bulldogs. But anyway, everybody was back in place when the play got underway, and no flags flew. I kept waiting for all the flags to fly, David.
Well, I think he stopped there for just a second and then went in motion and made it a very legal play.
Second down and goal for here's the handoff, touchdown right up the middle, and it goes to Michael Ross. And Ross has again added 6-4 to the scoreboard for the Howe Bulldogs, who are just taking over this football game after a rather, I guess, a slow start, you might say, because in the first quarter it looked like it was going to be a defensive battle all the way. And if anybody had told me 42 points would have been scored by either one of these two ball clubs after that first quarter, I'd have said they might have been a little bit crazy.
That's right, BK. Tom Bean's defense is really not falling apart. It's their offense is just not giving them a very good chance to stay in this ball game.
And once again, trying to add the extra point will be Monty Walker. He's got it up in the air, and it's good. And our score now goes to 43 for the Howe Bulldogs, 6 for the Tomcats with 2:33 to play. We'll be back with more on KMKT's Area High School Game of the Week after these messages.
Appreciate making tonight's game broadcast possible.
All right, back in Tom Bean, Texas, I'm BK Lindsay along with Gentry Little and David Hayes on KMKT's Area High School Game of the Week. And right now the Howe Bulldogs have made everybody take note that they're out to make this last game of the season really mean something with the Bells Panthers. They look good, folks. Bells going to have a tough tussle with this team. Here's the kickoff, goes to Henley. Henley's got some room. He's to the 30, the 35, to the 40, the 45, and clipped up at that point by number 44, James Fullencheck. And had it not been for Fullencheck, I think that Mr. Henley would have still been running.
That's right, BK. He was off for the touchdown right then. He just it was a shoestring tackle that saved that from being a touchdown.
Ryan Wilcoxon, the young sophomore for Coach David Horner, checks back into the ball game after coming off the field, and he's going to be the quarterback. So Adam Ball out, and Ryan Wilcoxon, the sophomore 120-pounder, in there at quarterback. As the Tomcats come to the line of scrimmage, Brad Lowe is flanked out wide to the right, with Baxley out to the left side, Henley in the slot. Here's the quarterback, back to pass. Wilcoxon looking downfield. He's hit, fumbles, and the Bulldogs have the football. Well, I'll tell you what, little sophomore did a good job in trying to get out of some trouble back there. And just as it looked like he was out of trouble, somebody came in with the arm, knocked the ball loose, and the Bulldogs fall on it at the 40-yard line. And you can't blame Wilcoxon for that because he was blindsided, and they did a good job of hitting him to get that football loose. Don't forget, we'll be down on the field right after this football game with some of the Howe players and coaches, and that'll be after about a 2-minute timeout. So be sure to stay tuned to KMKT for that, and I'm sure the post-game show will be very nice for all you Howe Bulldog fans that'll be making your way back to Howe. Here's the handoff. Norwood trying to hold on to the football. Looked like he was about to fumble it as he got it, but he still made about 4 yards on the play after being hit 4 or 5 times for that Tom Bean defense, led by Mr. Penal again, and Chris Henley also in on the tackle. And so let's see what we have here. We have 1:54, clock running, 43-6 our score. It'll bring up second down and 7 after the 3-yard run by John Norwood, who's had a good football game tonight, scoring 3 touchdowns. As the new quarterback in there, who's been in there for the last 3 series for Howe, is Scott Grogan. Bark signals. Now we'll hand it off. Here's Norwood. Big hole, 30, down to the 25, still going to the 21-yard line. Well, this guy, when he gets ahead of steam, he's hard to bring down. He's a big guy, 190 pounds, and he's got quick feet. Boy, he hit the hole in a hurry that time, David.
That's right, BK. He hit it. He went, strong through the offensive line. They pushed the defensive line. Tom Bean, Tom Bean's defensive line kind of holding their heads down low. They're tired, and I think they're ready to give up.
Scott Grogan has him back to the line of scrimmage. 21-yard line is the placement of the football. Here's the quick handoff. Goes to Michael Bailey. He's got a hole. He's got speed, too. He's down to the 15, down to the 10, and inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line. He's horse-collared there by number 9, Michael Brown, for the Tomcats. But I tell you, Howe is about to score again here with 1:13 to play in this football game. They have the ball inside the 10 at about the 6 is where they place the football. And let's see, we have well, we're going to go down to you in just a moment. I know you're waiting for me down there, Gentry, with somebody. But right after this play, we'll come to you. As Grogan has him to the line, handoff Bailey, and he's going to be close. He's down about the 2. Let's go down to the field with Gentry Little.
BK, I think the reason that the Howe Bulldogs are scoring so much is because of this young man right here, Jimmy Rivera, who's the official ball boy, and I was just talking to Jimmy. Jimmy, do you have some special treatment that you do to the ball?
No, sir.
He has put some magic into this offense because every time Howe gets a touchdown, he switches the ball and kind of rubs it over here. Got a little of that Bulldog magic down here, BK.
Bulldog magic is right. That's what took place tonight here in Tom Bean. There's no question about that. 23 seconds left to play in this football game. 43-6 is our score. As we come to the line of scrimmage, it'll be Tom Bean's football, and let's see as we check everything out. Looks like the quarterback is just going to let the clock run down. They're not even going to try to run another play, and that's going to be it. Ball game is over, and that's a good. That's good because Howe could have scored the touchdown and made this football game 49 or 50, but they elected to let the clock run out. They did call delay of the game against the Bulldogs, so now they'll just come back up to the line of scrimmage. Good sportsmanship shown there by Coach Joey McQueen and the Bulldogs.
That's right, BK. They could have scored probably, maybe even easy, but they just showed good sportsmanship there and did not want to run up the clock or anything like that.
That's going to be the end of the ball game, 43-6. We're going to be back with more of KMKT's Area High School Football Game of the Week with our post-game show after this 3-minute timeout.
The friendly staff at the Howe Bulldogs tonight from Chuck Ross Insurance Agency in Pottsboro.
The Howe Bulldogs have just won over the Tom Bean Tomcats by a score of 43-6. Let's go down to the field now with Gentry Little and head coach Joey McQueen of the Bulldogs.
Coach McQueen of the Howe Bulldogs victory tonight, and so the last thing before you left the field, they said beat Bells, and I guess that's what you're looking forward to now.
Yes, we're trying to, as I'm talking to you right now, an old friend of mine from right there is one of the scouts, so I'm sure he'll be ready for us, and we're going to go out and just try to give them a good game.
How important was this game to the kids going on the road and winning?
It's very important. It was our first out-of-town game that we won, and we were excited about that, and we had to win it just to be in a position to have a chance for the runner-up spot to play Bells. They're a great team and a great bunch of young men, and if they don't come over ready to kick our tail, well, I'd be disappointed in them because we're going to be ready for them.
How competitive is this district after Pilot Point?
Well, you can look at Bells, and they're 8-1, and you can say they're competitive. We felt like we played some tough teams in 9 district, and that's one reason we're right now 5-4. But you look at Bells, they're the team that we're going to have to knock off, and we're going to be ready.
What about you're playing them at home? I guess that has to be a big advantage.
Well, I hope so. We've only allowed 1 touchdown at home, and our defense has played great all year, and I'm the offensive coordinator, and it's been kind of stagnated on offense, but this past 3 weeks it's been coming around, and we're proud of that, and we're just glad we welcome Bells over there.
Gentry, if you will, put the headsets on him, and let me talk to him just a minute. Joey, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations for a big win tonight, and I know this has to make you feel pretty good about being able to go up against the Bells Panthers next week. Hey, there's going to be more than just a little bit at stake here. You coached there last year. Are there any ill feelings over in Bells about you coming to Howe?
Oh, no, there's no ill feeling on my part. I love every one of those kids over there, and when I left, it was a hard decision. But I have to make a decision. I have to stand behind it, and I'm doing that right now.
Well, I know your ball club played very well tonight against the run and shoot. I have to tell you, I didn't think you would be able to hold Tom Bean to only 1 touchdown tonight, and actually you almost had the shutout. So this had to be a real shot in the arm for your defense, who's played well all year long anyway.
Well, when you have a defensive coordinator like Billy Hill, he's been in the business long enough. He knows a lot of the offenses that the people throw against him. He did a great job tonight. I'm very proud of him and the rest of our team and coaches.
Are there going to be any seats in Howe next week?
Well, I hope there's no seats. You know, this is a playoff game next week. I hope Bells brings everybody over, and I know those people. They're great people. They're going to be over there, and they're going to be after us, and we're going to be, it's going to see who has the most spirit, I think.
Okay, everybody assumes now, I guess, that Aubrey is going to be knocked out after tonight's game with Pilot Point, but that's not necessarily so. If Aubrey was to beat Pilot Point last night, how would that make this district?
Well, if Aubrey beats Pilot Point tonight, it'll make us have to beat Bells by 18 points. That's the point spread that Bells had beat Aubrey. So we're hoping that Pilot Point beat Aubrey, so we just beat them maybe by 1 point. And I'll take 2-0 right now.
Okay. Well, Coach McQueen, thank you very much for taking the time to be with us during our post game and also at halftime. And we're looking forward to next week's game with the Bells Panthers. It should be some kind of a football game.
Okay. Well, BK, thank you. Well, what I'm looking at, tell Jason Smith, he was my quarterback last year, and he promised me he'd give me 4 interceptions in our game.
Well, I tell you, I have to say this about Jason Smith. Bar none, he's still the best quarterback I have seen in this area, and maybe of any of the teams that I've seen this year. This guy is an outstanding athlete.
He's an outstanding athlete, but I'm taking up for mine, too. Wade Carson does a good job.
Yes, he does. All right. Well, Coach, once again, congratulations, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very much, BK.
43-6 was our final score, and hopefully Gentry will be able to go over in the Howe locker room and talk to some of the Bulldogs. And you can just make your way over there, anywhere over there. We ought to be able to pick you up just fine, Gentry. At any rate, Tom Bean coach David Horner, he is, I'm sure, very unhappy with this ball game tonight. I know he felt like his ball club could play a lot better against the Howe Bulldogs, and I guess as a coach, this has to be a real downer for you. But overall, he's got to be very happy by the way his team has performed, and especially putting in the new offense of the run and shoot. And we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we come back with more of our KMKT High School Game of the Week post-game show, and we'll do that in 3 minutes.
A great plumber says, "Go Tomcats, beat the Bulldogs."
Back to Tom Bean, BK Lindsay along with David Hayes. Gentry Little on the field. I believe he's got a young player down there, one of the Howe Bulldogs, number 34. Is Doug Ogle?
Yes, it is, BK. And Doug, I was just mentioning during the broadcast that your uniforms look like Odessa Permian, and you said the coach changed that.
Yes, sir. It is. He just changed it last year after Odessa. He's a fan of theirs or something like that.
I tell you, and it seemed to work. BK, it was interesting. Doug, talk about the game tonight. 43 points, that's a lot of points going into Bells, but how tough will Bells be next week?
I expect Bells to be pretty tough. They've got a better record, and they played harder than we expected them to, so they should be pretty tough.
Do you have the game, though, at home? Does that help a lot?
Yes, sir, it should. I expect it to, because we rested up and everything.
From what you could tell tonight, were you surprised, and I don't want to say anything bad about Tom Bean, but how easy the defense was to run through?
Yeah, it's sort of surprising, but I have some friends over there, so they sort of waiting for me to get the ball, and then Don Noy, they didn't expect him, so I guess it was pretty easy for him.
BK, I've also got down here, and who are you?
Michael Ross.
This is Michael Ross, BK, who said, you said who could be the outstanding player of the game, and Michael, you came in for Bailey when he got hurt, and just y'all didn't lose a step.
I just did what I could. Coach leaves it up to me, and I just tried to fill the shoes. I feel I did a pretty good job, but I can always improve.
How much can you improve as far as next week against Bells?
All I got to say is we've got the talent, and we can beat them. As far as I'm concerned, I feel that I can give another good game. It's based on the linemen have a lot to do with it, too.
Ask your teammates this, and I'll ask you, how important is it that you have Bells at home this week?
It's very important. We haven't been beat at home yet. We've only been scored on once at home. And we've been really putting the whoop on everybody at home. We need to do it again.
Gentry, if you will, put the headsets on Mr. Ross there. Michael, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right. Hey, Michael, congratulations. Good ball game tonight, and you come in under some adverse conditions there with Bailey down, as Gentry mentioned, but you seem to know this offense quite well, and your speed really kind of amazed me. You were able to get the corner a couple of times tonight and make some big yards.
Yes, sir. I told Coach that I told him I had speed, and we traded positions. I was a receiver, so we traded positions, and I feel I can do the job, too.
I know in talking to Wade Carson and Joey McMillian during my halftime interview that I got yesterday, they were saying that Bells had made some indications that they were ready for you, and they're going to come down and beat you. And, of course, that's going to be hard to do in Bulldog land where you very seldom lose.
Yes, sir. We're just going to put it to them. We're going to do our best.
Michael, this is David Hayes. On the first series of plays y'all played, y'all tried to go up the middle and couldn't do it. What made you decide to go out to the outside and try up with their defensive on the outside?
Well, this is the play that Coach called, so I just did what I could. Tried to outrun them and run over them if I couldn't outrun them. I just ducked my head.
Well, it was a good ball game, and certainly congratulations for the victory, and we're looking forward to next week. Should be a great ball game. Should be a lot of people there.
Yeah, they should. Appreciate it.
All right. Once again, Michael Ross, one of the fine running backs for the Howe Bulldogs, who came in for Michael Bailey after he went down with an injury. But Michael did come back, and he, as I understand it, Gentry, he's in good shape other than for the few little thread marks across his nose. And Gentry's going to go back and try to find somebody else to talk to there. Gentry?
Okay, I've got Bailey. We were talking about Michael Bailey, and Michael still holding ice over his eye from the cut. But Michael, you played an incredible ball game, even though you were hurt. You feeling okay?
Feeling pretty good. Very good playoffs.
How important was this game tonight?
It was pretty important. You know, we really need to win this game. You know, to get the emotional factor. And if we lost this game, we wouldn't be in the playoffs. So you know, we just want to come out and get a good game with the team.
How important is it next week to play Bells at home?
Well, one reason we want to beat them for our coach, and we just want to beat them because they got all the hype and they think they can beat us. And they're not practicing next week, so they think they can beat us so easy. So we're just going to go out and show them how to play.
I've got to ask you what happened to your eye.
I was running the ball on the first play of the game, and someone hit my helmet off, and I think someone else's face mask hit me in the eye. So I don't know what happened to my nose. Something happened to it too. I don't know.
How important? I was asking Doug Orwell this earlier. Were you surprised at how easy the defense was for Tom Bean to run through?
I figured they'd be a little better, but they wasn't as. I figured, you know, they wasn't as good as we thought we was going to be. We come out, we practiced real hard, and we got it all together. We did pretty decent, I think.
Finally, let me ask you this: the offense played well, the line blocked real well for you, but I thought your defense came up with some big plays to help the victory.
Yes, sir. They're getting better every week. We're going to go to the playoffs. We're going to do pretty good.
BK, that's Michael and Michael Bailey, who's going to go take care of that eye and get it stitched up for next week. Back upstairs.
And we hope you enjoyed the broadcast. That's going to conclude our broadcast. If you would like to have a tape of this game, you may do so by calling 465-6275. Ask for BK Lindsay. If I'm not here, just leave a message, your name and your number, and I'll be getting back in touch with you. $12.95 is the cost for the tape. And so if you'd like to have a tape, just give me a call or just tell your coach, Joey McQueen, or Coach David Horner. Thank you very much for listening. This has been a Lindsay Sports production.